Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to checking out the YouTube version of Cinematic Autopsy. We've noticed a lot of you are watching and have not subscribed.
Yeah.
So,
Please subscribe.
Yeah, before we begin, it would be wonderful if you guys could click on that little link right there. Right, see where I'm pointing right there, and you'll notice that if you scroll down, you'll see subscribe. So subscribe to us, CL Squared Productions. You'll be able to see our videos, stuff.
We have lots of cool content for you guys. You'll know everything that we're up to in the film world, whether we're talking about it or doing it.
Exactly. So let's give you 5 seconds to subscribe. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to our show. I'm Charles D. Lincoln.
And I'm Chelsea LeSage.
And it's LeSage. And LeSage.
Yeah, and we are CL Square Productions.
Yes.
And welcome back.
Yes, to our long-awaited episode. As you may notice at this episode, by the way, at the end of it, we have a special interview with Marc Sheffler, who played Junior.
In the original Last House on the Left, which we'll be covering today.
Yep.
Finally!
Yeah, it's interesting for us to have to talk to someone who was actually involved in the film, because if we... normally we just talk about it, and we don't have anyone who was there who actually experienced it. So this time...
Maybe this time!
Yeah, and Mark was a great interview, and hope you'll tune in for that.
Yes.
And check it out. But yeah, so we're going to talk about 1972's Last House on the Left, starring David Hess and my daddy.
And his daddy.
My daddy, Fred J. Lincoln.
Yes.
We all inherit letters for our middle names, so that's why I'm Charles D. Lincoln. So,
what?
And he was Fred J. Lincoln, so there you go. It was... I'm making that up.
I know you're making it
each one actually stands for something, but it's just a letter.
What's the D stand for?
I don't say.
Dixonhausen.
Dixonhausen, yes. Danhausen, that's what it stands for. My middle name is actually Danhausen.
Yes.
Very, very nice, very evil.
Whatnot.com/love that Danhausen.
Very nice, very evil.
Yes.
What a sentence.
Yes. Danhausen, of course, independent wrestler signed by AEW.
Who none of you know of unless you watch Beyond the Bell or listen to. Yes.
Yes, but no, they're totally misusing Danhausen over there. They're
misusing everyone over there.
They hired him because he was like a meme, and then they had no idea what the fuck to do with him, and he's literally been in like no storylines and
I wouldn't know what
for about like 3 years.
Damn.
He's just like, imagine a guy who was like a 70s horror host, but if he was really nerdy.
Okay.
And he will occasionally curse people.
Good. I want to do that. Look at Marty glowing. I'm like a Cullen right now. It's embarrassing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, that's because you are a white lady.
I'm very white.
Yes, the whitest of ladies.
That's very true.
You are so white. If we went to Kentucky, they would ask if you were okay. Anyway.
Have you been to Kentucky?
No, there is another podcast I was listening to.
Oh.
One of the hosts is Asian, and he was there with his wife, and he said the place is so fucking racist. A woman actually asked his wife if she was okay.
Why?
Because she was getting in a car with him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wah,
yeah. And you know what? And the only people, and no one will complain about that, because if you actually live there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That shit fucking happens. So, but yeah, apparently I guess she thought he was trafficking this like innocent white girl or whatever, but
wow.
Yeah.
Some dark stuff, man.
No, you know what's really dark is what made them leave him alone is he actually he shaved his head and shaved off his beard so that he wouldn't stick out. And he said after that, nobody bothered him. And he said the fact that I have to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm depressed now.
Yeah.
That was Last House on the Left.
That was a trip to Kentucky.
So,
yes.
Anyway, move closer to me. You're out of frame.
I'm out of frame?
Yes.
My butt is comfortable.
But you're out of frame.
It's not important.
I was going to say, if we are... What? Can you imagine if our industry only did shit that was physically comfortable?
I am... Yes, no. I'm less shiny now. It's very exciting.
Yes. So, anyway. So we're here to talk about Wes Craven's first film. Last House on the Left. So, in Wes Craven, as you know, from Nightmare on Elm Street, and People Under the Stairs, and, of course, my favorite film, Scream.
I'm gonna throw you out this window. Like, what?
I am the only person. I know. I'm the only person who hates Scream. I know that.
I don't like Scream. I just tolerate it.
Mm-hmm. Why do you tolerate it?
Because everybody else likes it. God, peer pressure at its finest.
See?
Listen, ladies and gents, this is exactly what you should not do. Is what I do. Mm-hmm. Yes. Do better.
It's an incredibly disappointing film, and it's also responsible for why people told me to go see Saw. Seesaw. Because everyone had just become so used to like all the crappy like late 90s, early 2000s American horror that everyone was just trying to be Scream. That they were like, oh my god, this movie has gore in it. You're obviously going to love it. And then I saw Saw and I was like...
See, I was so young when Saw came out that I was terrified of it. I saw it in theaters and I was terrified.
I was very disappointed. I remember me and my girlfriend at the time saying we were going to stop listening to people's movie recommendations.
Well, I think you did that a long time ago. You listen to me maybe sometimes.
Sometimes. Like, yes. There's a movie that's big out right now that uses AI in the art that you really liked and I found disappointing.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, yeah, I saw your Facebook post.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't poorly done.
You said it was the last 10 minutes you didn't like.
I despise the last 10 minutes, but
no, I watched it for the third time recently, and I fell asleep in the last 10 minutes, and I saw your Facebook post the next morning.
The last 10 minutes are awful.
Yeah, they're not.
They really are. You know why we're not telling you what movie it is? Because who knows? Maybe it'll be a future episode, and we don't want to give things away.
That's true.
But
we also don't outwardly support people who are using AI all the time.
Exactly.
Yes.
AI is bad. Mm-hmm. It is there to take jobs away from us.
Yeah. Did you see they're doing AI headshots now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is wrong with everyone?
And you know what? And if you take jobs away from us, you know what that means? That means we have to come to your jobs. Do you really want me coming to your job?
Yeah. What about
I'll fuck shit up. What if you're like there sitting there fucking filing your papers and shit? What if I just start cutting your papers with a pair of scissors? What are you going to do about it? Yeah.
We have a chainsaw and we don't know how to use it.
I know.
I know how to use it.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I
but,
want to intimidate people.
But, what are you going to do? I come to your job. What if I start just spilling shit all over your fucking, your correlated envelopes or whatever? Mm-hmm. You don't want us. That's the thing. We are unqualified for regular people jobs.
We can't do anything other than what we do.
Exactly. And if you want computers to take away those jobs from us, and then us to come to your job.
Keep supporting AI.
Yes, exactly.
The way of your doom.
Yes, that's how fucking Skynet happens, people. Fucking Skynet. Anyway, so
this is Charles' daddy's big movie.
Yes.
And we're
speaking of my dad, I know you haven't seen Terminator.
No.
You have to.
Yeah.
Just the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's my controversial opinion. Terminator 2 is not a good movie. All right. Yes. Anyway.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yes. Well, the kid goes wild. So, anyway, people. So about Last House on the Left.
Are you going to give, a soliloquy now about your father's opinions of it? Or what are you going to do?
No. Everyone knows my dad hated it. Let's go into the movie. So, my dad hated Last House on the Left.
Yeah, so it says the events you're about to witness are true.
They are.
They're so true.
They happen in real time. It's actually a documentary filmed live.
Yes.
From your backyard.
From your backyard.
Yes.
I was going to say from Nickelodeon Studios. That's what I was going to say.
I haven't seen that documentary yet.
It's fucked up, man.
I'm sure. Little known fact, since we're talking about my dad. My little sister was also an actress at one point. And she wasn't molested or anything like that. But just to even, and that's the thing, even if they're not molesting them, there's just how much fucking shit child actors have to go through.
Yeah.
She actually had an audition for Hannah Montana. To
play Hannah Montana?
I assume so, yeah. And apparently, I was not there. This is all secondhand from my dad. Mm-hmm. But Apparently, the people at the audition were so mean that my sister literally quit acting.
Wow, Disney.
It killed her fucking love for acting. And she was she was in like all sorts of plays and all this sort of stuff and loved doing it. And then whatever happened at that audition, she was like, I never want to do this again.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's never acted since. And she's like in her 30s now, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never told me that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what happened at it, and I feel it's not my story to tell.
Right.
It's hers, whatever happened.
Yeah.
But, the fact is that, like, these people there, they treat these kids just like shit. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, this movie is happening in real time in your backyard.
Yes.
We are on location. So.
We are on location.
Yes, we are.
Get comfortable.
There we go. Hold on. There we go.
No free feet pics. Ever.
Yes, I'm sure that if any foot fetishist who would look at my fucking feet and get off is a sick person who needs to be like arrested.
It's like a friend of ours who like dabbles in that was just like, oh no, it's a great like revenue stream. I was like, my feet are flat, and they're like, never mind. It's like I had to wear ice hockey skates and fucking like what is it? Figure skating classes.
You did figure skating?
I did, but my feet were too big, and I had to wear ice hockey skates for men as a child.
Yes.
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 So, no free feet pics ever, anyone. Ever.
Yes, that'll be a perk on our next.
That'll
be a perk on our next Indiegogo.
Yes. Find me on wikifeet.com and celebrityfeet.com, and I had nothing to do with either of those, but my rating is way higher than it should be.
There you go. Well, they don't realize how big your feet are, so.
No, they have no idea.
No. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing because I don't give a shit. That to me there are no cute feet. None. No one.
Feet are the worst.
No one has cute feet.
No, sorry.
Big, small, whatever. But to foot fetishists, they, whatever.
They care about certain things.
Yes. But my feet are so disgusting that if you, like, because I walk a lot, so I have, like, fucking...
Yeah. Look at my calluses. They're ridiculous.
I have calluses and everything. Anyway, so...
last house on the left.
Last house on the left.
We do this every time.
Yes. Well, that's why people listen to us, because they love our...
They don't care about the movie. You don't care about our movies.
So... We see a lake with birds. By the way, if I'm looking down, I'm looking down at my notes because I have them on
He's
my
looking
phone.
Down at his feet.
Yes, I'm looking down at my feet and fantasizing.
Yes.
I'm getting aroused.
Harvey Weinstein's in the corner. Let's just ignore him.
Harvey Weinstein filling a plant with seed.
Oh, you just had to say the S word. There aren't many words that gross me out, but like being
seed.
Like up in Washington Heights, how it's like there's Cumming Street and Seaman Street right next to each other. I'm like, why do you do that? Not bad.
I did not do it.
You named them. Don't lie.
We have a mailbox with Mary written on it with a little heart.
Yes, and for some reason they spelled her name with an I, which is fine. Mm-hmm. It happens. Special. Then you cut to her in the shower. She's supposed to be 17, and there's this guy going by who says she's the prettiest piece I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I believe he's the mailman.
He's got to be the mailman. Yeah, he's the packageman.
Yeah.
He's got the package that's coming on Seaman Street, all right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a PG-rated episode, obviously.
PG-rated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And opens the horn and delivers opens the little door thing and delivers the mail. And she hugs a dog named Cassie, and he hugs a dog named Cassie and says, Mary's getting cards from half the civilized world. She is about the prettiest piece I've ever seen at 17.
Yikes. What's the age of consent here right now? 17.
17 in New York.
Okay. Yeah.
16 in New Jersey. I don't remember what it is in Connecticut.
I don't know.
Yeah. But,
yeah. And you see her in the shower. The 17-year-old in the shower.
The actress is not 17, though.
She's 14.
She was in her 20s. She's 14. Yeah, no, this is not the Blue Lagoon.
But it is.
No. Have you ever... Do you know about the Blue Lagoon?
I know about it.
That where Brooke Shields was like doing nude scenes at like 14? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like the Romeo and Juliet thing where they were 15.
Right.
Yeah, where they sued. And lost, actually.
Yeah, I know they lost.
Yeah.
But Romeo and Juliet were supposed to be 13 and 14. I'm just saying, people. I'm just saying.
I'm sure people would love it if that was... You go into court and go, well, actually, they should have been younger. We just couldn't find any parents who would let us to put nude 13-year-olds in our movie.
Yes.
I'm sure someone someone will find a clip of that, and fucking QAnon will hunt us down forever for me saying that about we couldn't find a 13-year-old.
They probably are. They just can't find us.
So anyway,
we're untraceable.
Yeah. So we see. There's a lot of Mary showering.
Why didn't I write Wes Anderson?
I don't know.
Okay, continue.
But there's a lot of because it says Wes Craven. So.
I've never typed Wes Anderson enough for my computer to autocorrect it to Anderson.
So Mary's showering, and the glass is like making it all artsy looking because it's not like clear glass. I don't know if you know the name for that glass.
Unclear glass.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then we see her parents.
Yes.
And Mary, of course, is played by Sandra, whose name got deleted. Her last name got deleted. There you go.
Great.
Yes, but her first name is Sandra.
I don't know her first name or last name.
Yeah, Sandra Cassell as Mary.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. And Phyllis.
She's great.
Yeah, Lucy Graham plays Phyllis. David Hess as Krug. Fred J. Lincoln as Weasel. I can't say no relation because he's my dad. Jeremy Rain as Sadie. My cat Sadie.
Wait, her first name's Jeremy?
Jeremy Rain, yeah, Sadie.
Her first name is Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. I know you like when girls get boys' names.
Boys' names. Yeah.
Marc Sheffler as Junior, who, as I said, we have the interview with later. Mm-hmm. Gaylord St. James as the dad. Cynthia Carr as the mom. Gaylord St. James, by the way, well, you know what? We'll leave it for Mark's interview because
leave it for Mark.
He gives us some news that I didn't know.
That you didn't even know. I know.
Yeah.
I remember seeing your face. Yeah, you're in for a really big treat.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And Marcella Renker and Martin Cove as the sheriff and deputy. Martin Cove, of course, you may know from Cobra Kai. Mm-hmm. And of course, the woman who, just this whole movie was made for was Ada Washington, the chicken lady.
The chicken lady is the star of the show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the chicken lady is hated by my family for generations, and we'll get into that.
Are we going to get into that? Great.
Yes, of course we are.
Good.
Yes, that was Sean Cunningham's "fuck you" to my dad. Was to not put my dad on the poster. But Ada Washington, the chicken lady, that's like a 30-second cameo or some shit. Is on the fucking poster.
And introducing Ada Washington as the chicken lady.
And that scene feels like it's fucking 5 minutes, even though it's probably about 45 seconds or so.
Yeah.
It goes on forever, and it's unfunny, and it's awful, and it's like...
Cheers, Fred. Sorry.
Yep. So, anyway, basically, we meet Mary's parents. As I said, Gaylord St. James is the dad. There is no phone. I assume that the phone is they're going through like what we go through with the internet sometimes.
Yeah, like the service is just down, the phone got disconnected. Yeah. Something that happens far too often. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and basically at this point, so the dad is a doctor. The mom appears to be a housewife of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's got some attitude, and we love it.
Yeah, and so Mary is going off to a show to see a band called Bloodlust.
Yes, with Phyllis Stone.
Yes, with her friend.
Yes, her friend Phyllis Stone, and the family does not like where Phyllis's family comes from.
Yeah.
The neighborhood. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is where the concert is.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And they also give Mary so is this the type of conversation that like girls have with their parents, like, hey, I can see, well, maybe not as blatant as I can see your nipples through your shirt, but like, is that the type of conversation that parents have with like daughters?
I mean, like, sometimes I've only had two parents, so that I don't know.
I didn't have regular parents, so I don't know. I never did.
When I was under their roof, like I told you, it's a shock to everyone who I ever talk about it to. Like, I never did anything wrong where they'd have to ask that question. Yeah. The worst thing I ever did was pretend to be Shania Twain to some guy on AOL Instant Messenger for like 3 hours when I was a kid.
And
And they caught me.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Of all the things you could do, well, I'm going to be Shania Twain today.
Yeah, I don't know. And I put in boys.com in the 5th grade on my dad's work computer thinking I was going to get Boys by Britney Spears. That was innocent.
I can imagine.
But I kind of knew.
I can imagine what you got from boys.com.
I will never forget that image as long as I live. It was crazy. And I watch porn. It was crazy.
Can you describe the image?
It was just this woman's, how she was lounged out. I've never seen fake boobs before. Keep in mind, I'm 10.
Yeah.
Never seen fake boobs before, and her tits are massive. She's got no hair on her vagina, and I've learned that you're supposed to have hair when you get older. Mm-hmm. And I just hit puberty, right? Because I unfortunately hit puberty at 9. Mm-hmm. And then she's just got her mouth wide open. I was like, is there a chocolate fountain? I don't understand. And it's fairly innocuous and very innocent, but for me, it's still so just inappropriate and outlandish. I was like, Britney Spears would never. And look at Britney Spears now. It's like she knew. She knew. She was like, Chelsea went to boys.com, and now I am going to post videos as if I also went to boys.com. That's what she did for us.
Hopefully, by the way, I hope not all of that got recorded.
I hope it doesn't.
Our screen briefly went down.
It did. It did.
Yeah,
anyway,
hopefully.
boys.com. Check. I wonder what it is
Don't
now.
encourage people to go to a porn site. We'll get thrown off YouTube if you do that.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No, it's for Britney Spears.
I don't believe that's for Britney Spears.
Oh, I just deleted something. Bad Chelsea.
So, so they're talking about how they can see her nipples clean as day, and Mary starts going on about how they, back in her parents' day, they used to wrap their tits like little lunatics, which I don't know what that means, and straitjackets and stuffed socks in their bras. That I know about, because girls still did that when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I guess people stopped doing it in the millennial generation.
I'm sure people still did it, but I was like, I just... I never had boobs, and my mother was always like, someday your tits will come in, and I was like, no, they won't, and then I hit 30, and I was like, God damn it, woman!
I like your tits will come in, like they're a package that just has been delayed at UPS or something. We have a pair of tits here, but we have the address wrong. We're sorry. We'll redeliver in the morning. Yeah. So. But, he's reading about them, the band Bloodlust, which never really goes anywhere. We don't learn anything about Bloodlust. But them dismembering wild chickens and stuff. And
I don't like that stuff.
Yeah, she cried herself to sleep about the chickens. And, all that blood and violence. I thought you were supposed to be the love generation. And her dad gives her a...
peace necklace.
Peace necklace.
A peace sign necklace.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she's going with Phyllis Stone. That's played by Lucy Grantham. And we see Phyllis and Mary hanging out by the lake.
By a creek.
Yeah, by the crack.
By the crack.
And, her parents are in iron and steel. My mother irons and my father steels.
I love that. I wrote, she takes care of horses. She also hides booze. That's what I wrote.
Yes.
Yes. So she's from Manhattan. Yes, the parents are in iron and steel.
So that also makes me wonder. Another question: is that a thing that? Well, so you said you were a good girl though. So I guess you never hid alcohol in a creek or something.
No, my parents were always just like, I know you're gonna drink underage. We will get it for you. You don't leave the house.
Okay.
And that only happened twice.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very good. I mean, if they weren't involved and I was staying at a friend's, then yes, the creek was the place to put the alcohol. Of course. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I learned the other day from a Threads post? Someone pointed Generation X was the last generation to ever find porn in the woods. I've never found porn in the woods. I was so people were what? Going into the fucking woods to jerk off when they have a perfectly good bathroom? What is...
No, I'm thinking that maybe what I'm taking away from that is just how Phyllis is hiding the booze in the creek. Maybe they hid porn from their parents in the creek. I don't know.
In the woods?
I don't know.
That seems like an awful
I
long
don't
way
have,
to go.
I don't have the
fucking
answers
woods.
for you.
Although, we saw something recently with a story about that, didn't we?
What?
I could swear we had a whole thing about someone with porn in the woods.
I don't know. Was it this movie?
No, it was not this movie.
What the fuck was
But
it?
at this point, they start talking about how it would be nice to get stoned.
Yeah, and they want weed.
So they commit adultery and no.
They're 17. What laugh was that?
That's my cartoon villain laugh, I guess.
It's perfect. You absolutely nailed it.
Fill in the episode while I
they want to
while
get
I
stoned.
enjoy it ice
They
cold
wanna
Snapple.
Snapple Zero because
sugar free.
sugar free because it's better for you.
Yes.
See, I'm just thinking of you. Yes. So they want to get stoned, which so do I, and I don't blame them. Just like a woods and drinking montage, right? They talk about how Phyllis's breasts filled. No, it was Mary's breasts filled
Yes.
out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She feels like a woman for the first time in her life. Something about Rodney Johnson?
I guess that's a boy she likes or something.
Yes. Didn't know each other last summer. You hear on the radio that there are fugitives that are hiding. And they killed 2 cops and a dog, which makes me sad. Yeah, and then is that when they cut to Junior?
Yes.
They cut to Junior and Krug.
Krug popping balloons of a child with his cigar.
Which happens. And then you get Freddie, oh boy, with a gun, right?
Freddie who?
Fred Lincoln.
Freddie oh boy?
Freddie, old boy.
Don't call my dad that.
Freddie, old boy. It's
Don't
like
do
pal.
that. That's not
It's
nice.
like a pal.
No.
You are not from where I'm from. It's a
No,
compliment.
I'm not.
It's a compliment.
I'm a New Yorker. You call someone old boy, it's a fight. It's fighting words where I'm from.
Really?
Yup.
Not where I'm from. I didn't mean it.
Fisticuffs ensue.
Yes. Is that in the movie? No.
and everyone like has a curly mustache and they're all like fucking...
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a Western.
Yes.
Yes. Now it's high noon.
My foot is asleep. My foot that people want to
Yeah, we're
pay
really
for is asleep.
Yes.
This
Your
is
feet aren't that bad.
This is... Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes.
I want to touch it. Does it hurt?
No. And I feel nothing from it. That's the problem. If you, like, I don't feel that.
That's bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You need a pedicure just for that.
I definitely need a pedicure. Let's get a pedicure.
Yes. In all of our free time.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
I don't know where we are anymore.
we're meeting the bad guys. The
Bad guys.
Yes.
Yes. So they're listening to the radio, which I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're listening to the radio. On the radio it says they may try and leave in the next 48 hours. And I love that Sadie's in the bath singing in the rain. She's talking about getting new clothes.
You know what I keep thinking to myself about is how much the Gene Kelly estate hated that Clockwork Orange used singing in the rain.
Really?
Yeah, they absolutely hated it. And I imagine they were not happy with this using it either.
Yeah.
No.
Or they would, or they totally were.
I would assume. But yeah, so apparently, so the 3 villains, 2 convicted murderers, rapists, and dope pushers, Junior Stillo, and Krug had the 1966 triple slaying of a priest and 2 nuns.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Weasel Podowski for child molesting. The 4 may be in the NYC area. I expect him to leave the state in the next 48 hours. And we see my father in his green tank top, turning off the radio and going, "Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you for that." So...
We love that.
Yeah, we should face the camera more.
We should face it. I know, that's why I'm moving.
Yeah.
That's why I'm moving.
Yeah.
We're sitting on a bed, and
Yes.
it's really uncomfortable.
Yes, we normally have like our desks and shit.
Our offices.
But yeah, we're like I said, we're on location. Someone gave us a hotel
Yes.
for shit, so
Yes.
we're recording from here.
And we're getting comfortable.
Yes, I'm so comfortable in this position.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Yes. But yeah, so at this point, Sadie is in the bathtub, and someone knocks at the door, and my dad asks who it is, to which, of course, Krug responds, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yes.
And Krug and Junior enter.
Yeah. They said send him in with a beer. There's a lady in there, man. Right?
Sadie's the one who wants the beer.
Oh, Sadie. Yes, Sadie wants a beer while she's in the bath. And I love that, like, Krug just sends his son in with him. Like, she's just naked in there.
Yeah.
Just showing the family dynamic. That this child has no problem with seeing daddy's girlfriend just naked in a bathtub.
Yeah.
We love that. So Junior brings her a beer, and talking about how Krug apparently just got out of the clink.
Yes, that's prison.
Yes, that is prison. Yes, we love that. And Sadie wants him to become someone else altogether. And
well, because they're talking about when they go somewhere else what their names will be.
Yes.
So because they can't obviously be who they are anymore because the police will be looking for them. Yes. So, and she comes up with the name Agatha Greenwood.
Yes.
And he asks, how does that grab you? And he's like, it's like something out of Brighter Day, which I assume is a 70s reference.
I have no idea. I didn't even write that down.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when she asks, well, what do you want to be? And he's like, a frog. I had my own lily pad, and I could sit there all day, and he makes frog noises.
Just the best ribbit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, we asked him about that, too.
Yes.
And nobody would bother me. And then him and Sadie start making frog noises. It's very cute, actually.
It's very cute.
And I kind of love while he's doing it.
Krug's like, what the fuck?
You see Krug like listening in. What? What? Why is there frog noises?
What is even happening?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that so much.
Yeah. And so she pulls Junior into the bathtub.
Tries to drown him is what I wrote.
I wasn't trying to drown him. I was trying to put him on her boob.
Yes.
And Krug is not happy with this. He pulls Junior out of there, and then he flicks his ashes into the bathtub, which is gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. So we go to Mary and Phyllis, who are getting ice cream.
I just wrote ice cream.
They get mint chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah, my least favorite ice cream flavor ever.
I hate it.
I hate it so much.
I hate that. I hate pistachio.
You know what? We're about to lose a bunch of fucking, fans because people love mint chocolate chip.
I would be very surprised and disappointed if there's actually so much of a fan base for mint chocolate chip.
Oh my god, people
that they would stop listening to us.
No, I kid you not. Well, at least 2 people would be like, well, that's my favorite ice cream flavor. I'm done with these people. Well.
Yeah, so they see Junior hanging. Oh, well, we don't get. So they're just. Hold on.
We're all dying.
We're slipping.
I miss our offices.
Yes.
Our kingdom for our offices.
Yes. So.
This is rough.
Yeah, so Sadie, at this point, we go back. Sadie's pulled out of the bathtub and by Krug, and Weasel tries to get involved.
Get off my woman. No, I thought she was our woman. He says, I love that.
And then she explains she's her own friggin' woman.
Yes, which I love that they actually said. And she said she's not going to put out anymore until there's a couple more chicks around. Mm-hmm. Which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. And they ask, have you been reading them Creep Women's Lib magazines? And Creep, of course, was a radical feminist group in the 70s.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Larry,
I don't remember what it stands for, but it was an acronym. Why don't you just lay back and enjoy being inferior? And she calls him a male chauvinist dog, to which Fred Weasel Podowski, a.k.a. my dad, corrects her with a pig, Sadie. It's
His
male chauvinist pig.
It's Weasel Wadowski?
Podowski. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Fred Weasel Podowski.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that.
Do you actually know someone whose last name is Podowski?
No, thank God.
Oh, okay.
It's just funny. I love it. I had no idea. I didn't know that was Weasel's last name.
I guess Krug's last name would be Stillo as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just don't know Sadie's name.
Damn. I wonder if it's on IMDb.
No.
No.
It is not.
You would know that.
Yeah. And that's where it's at. So she ain't putting out anymore, so they get more women. And so Junior goes on out, and Phyllis tells Mary to be on the lookout for someone who might be dealing.
Yes, and then they conveniently run into Junior, who's standing outside on the stoop.
Yeah.
Yes. Smoking a cigarette, and Phyllis goes up, and you know where we can get some good grass? And he first says, no, I don't know that stuff. And they walk away, and he calls them back saying, lady, come back here, let's get...
Yeah, let's get together. Because he realizes that, these are some women...
Make Sadie happy.
To make Sadie happy. So, I do happen to have in my possession an extra ounce of some good stuff. Really? How good? Colombian. Yeah. For $20.
A great deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I need the money, and that's too high. It's a good deal to be, and I guess that, wow, that is,
Well,
how much do people pay for, well, now it's in stores, but before it was legal, how much did people pay for, like, an ounce of pot?
I don't know. I just started smoking weed, 4 months ago.
Oh, but you didn't know anybody who did it?
No, of course I know. Everybody did.
Yeah.
I just didn't ever buy it or, ask about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we're innocent and have never done anything wrong.
Yeah, well, no, I have never smoked pot. And actually, speaking of this movie, I blame my parents for why I've never smoked pot.
Yeah.
Because my dad used to have, my parents, when they were together, used to have these gross fucking hippies who would come in as their fucking dealers. And they, smelled funny. And they were just gross and hairy looking and everything. And I wanted nothing to do with people like that.
Makes sense.
And it made pot so uncool to me.
Makes sense.
That, people would, so I've never smoked pot.
Pot is fun, but I don't know how much it
seems
costs.
relaxing, and I don't like things that relax me.
Yes, well, there are ones that do relax you, and then, so there's 2 different kinds, or 3 different kinds. You got a sativa, an indica, and a hybrid of the 2. The sativa will keep you up, and it's kind of fun, where you're just, having great ideas, kind of like when you're on shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Gee, you know what my having shrooms is? Everything exactly the way life normally
Yeah, it didn't do anything for you.
Yes, I'm really, although people think that might have been because there were other things involved, too, and that they countered the shrooms.
Yes, meaning fun.
Yes. And by other things, of course, I mean...
fun.
Caffeine. I had lots of coffee.
Yes.
So, Junior takes them to the apartment where my dad and Sadie are resting.
I'm just tired, guys. So.
Hire us, people, so we can be in a hotel doing dumb shit like this here.
What even is this place? That's great. We're really...
You just hit the mic.
You hit the mic earlier.
I totally did not. Anyways.
God,
yeah.
no.
So, anyway.
God, we're not even drunk. It's really sad.
No. So, I love that Sadie is sleeping with full makeup on.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Okay, ready for me to go on a tangent, because I'm going to go on a... No, I won't.
It was the 1970s. Everyone did it.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
I find that very hard to believe.
They totally
I call shenanigans.
Everyone did it all the time, 24/7.
Including you?
Girls went to sleep when they would put their makeup on before going to sleep. It was just a thing.
Don't do that, women. You're not that dumb. No dumb woman listens to our podcast. Don't do that. I've done it when I've been wasted.
Yeah.
Or, worked a 16-hour day and just collapsed on my beanbag when I, went in my door. But don't fall asleep with your makeup on unless you really like popping pimples, which I do.
I've actually gone to sleep with my makeup on, but it was not a good idea, because then I had, fucking black makeup back in my, gothy-looking face. And now I'd have, black makeup all over my pillow, which fucking sucked.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, so...
We love that.
It's not a good idea to do, but sometimes if you're drunk enough, it just happens.
Yep.
Yeah. But Sadie here was just not doing it because she was drunk, because she was doing it clever ruse. There we are.
Ow!
Just a clever ruse. Those of you listening on a podcast cannot tell.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, why
the people watching us don't know what's going on either. No, he was just adjusting his legs, and it's just, this is a nightmare.
So
no free feet pics.
Oh God! So this movie, so They shut the door. They shut the door, and then they're trapped. They're trapped inside there. And my dad and Krug and Sadie start molesting them.
Yeah, wow, it got real dark. I was still thinking about feet, but yeah, that's what happens next. Lady come back in 20... stick around for a while. I like, here's your yummy yummy.
Yeah, here's your yummies, junkie.
Oh, here's your yummies, junkie? I wrote, here's your yummy yummy.
No, it's here's your yummy, where he throws heroin to
Oh, yeah, so they say on the radio earlier in the movie that, like, one of the...
Krug purposely addicted his son.
To heroin, yes,
to
which
him.
Apparently is true. But what I've noticed about Junior...
Well, that's what my uncle did to his ex-wife, the one who killed herself.
Jesus Christ, this podcast is a fucking roller coaster. Like, what is even happening? I can't handle... Did you scratch me?
Accidentally, I was fixing my hair.
Oh.
Yes. We're trying to stay in fucking frame. So I'm fixing my hair, and it's like... What?
Yes.
Yes.
Monkey!
So that her cat is named Monkey. That was not any sort of reference.
Oh, shut the fuck up!
That was not any
no.
sort of reference to me being a person of color. Okay, that
true.
was not racist at all.
Let's
that
go
was
into something worse than that.
That was just her. That was just her.
It's my cat.
Her cat's name, and
Not
her cat will
this cat, my
scratch
cat.
her,
Yes.
and she has to call its name. So
yes.
because I just occurred to me like, oh shit, people don't know that's your cat's name.
If they don't know, they shouldn't be listening.
I don't think you've ever.
I talk about Monkey.
You've just yelled at her a couple times.
Oh, well, that's normal.
Yeah.
She's a bad
Because she is often wrecking shit.
She's just destroying everything.
Yes.
I love her so much.
Yes.
So, yeah, speaking of things that are even worse than what you can interpret that I just said, you see Mary's parents kissing.
Yeah.
God, parents kissing is the worst thing in the world. They got a happy birthday Mary sign on. There's a cake in the oven. It's just really gross how much they kiss. I don't like it.
There's a really big difference in tone in this film. They keep going from the shit happening to Mary and Phyllis to the parents, which sometimes goes into like wacky slapstick comedy, especially with the police.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's it's some weird tone shit, but it's like it's first time filmmaker shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I admit I did some of that, too, in, like, Teresa and Allison. Like, some of the weird tone stuff. Because when you're just starting out, you don't realize how jarring that can be.
Yeah.
So, you know. But, yeah, so they strip, is it Phyllis that they...
Yep.
No, okay, yeah. And, and then my dad's commenting that she has chicken breasts. And he gets spit on. I do like... So, I want to point out the line about how, hey, man, we were just trying to get some grass. And my dad being like, oh, you were trying to get grass? You two ain't cows, are you? And that's when he started to moo. And,
moo for me.
Yeah,
moo.
And they are not receptive to my dad's cow noises.
You want to know what's funny is that, like, it was the first time that I saw this, however long ago, and the moo for me, like, I think in Rent the musical, Maureen, who's the character I played, says moo with me, and I'm wondering if there's any sort of correlation.
I mean, they could have been fans.
Yeah.
Or they could have been, they were fans who wanted a more positive way.
Maybe.
They wanted to make that scene a more positive thing.
Yes.
Instead of move for me, they wanted to move with you.
Moo with you, yes. And then they took free feet pics of Chelsea Lincoln.
Yes, they did.
That's how it goes.
And that's how they paid their rent. Anyway, so
Phyllis is naked. Sadie puts her hands on Phyllis's tits. Yeah. Freddie's kissing him. It's just... Be ashamed to mess up this floor with blood. There are other ways to do things. And he punches her in the stomach and tears her clothes off. That's just like, what? What is this movie?
He's showing my dad how punches work.
Yeah.
Because apparently he's like, there are other ways to do things, as if Fred Podolsky has never seen a punch.
Clearly.
So that's why he's like, there's other ways to do things. Observe this thing I do called a punch to the stomach.
And poor Mary's just like watching.
Yep.
And then we have ADR rape.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's what I wrote. I wrote ADR rape.
Yay!
Woo! ADR rape.
We spelled something right and also the same thing.
Yes. And then when we focus on the reaction to Mary. So, meanwhile, her parents are having toast and...
I wrote, I fucking hate the parents kissing. It's too much.
I was going to ask why I wrote Chelsea hates the elderly. Now I know.
I don't. They're not elderly. Gaylord maybe is getting there. People gray early.
So, yeah, it was the 70s. Everyone looked like fucking 20 years older than they do now.
Speaking of which, did you notice the Rogaine in a certain someone's hair and how their hair is no longer gray?
Oh, I thought that was just hair dye.
Oh, yeah. But like Rogaine hair dye.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I had no idea. I just thought maybe they got a part where they had to be younger or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right, that's what I figured it was.
Yeah, well, that's very kind of you.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you know what I did? I went out and I bought another box because they did such a bad job. And I said, "Get on the toilet!" And they actually so I could fix it.
Oh, okay.
For them, so I could fix it for them.
Yeah. There's so many weird out of context samples that we could have from this episode here. Get on the toilet!
Get on the toilet! Yeah, no, I was like, get on the toilet! And I had the, like, gloves on already and the, like, bottle all mixed so that we could, like, so I could fix it because they did a bad job. Because they did a bad job. I personally went out and got another one. It's like, get on, and then, and I would assume that they'd think get on the toilet means so I can fix their hair. Like, the seat was down. They took their pants down, put the toilet up, and sat down on the toilet. Well, it was really funny.
Well, it's good you have gloves. So, anyway. That's exactly what I assumed was going to happen.
I don't hate the elderly.
That's exactly what I assumed was going to happen when you said get on the toilet.
I just didn't think they'd actually do that. It was really funny.
So we see them now. They're going to go on a car trip. And they have the happiest music ever. So David
Hasselhoff.
No, David Hess.
Schwarzenegger.
No, let's be respectful to the late David Hess.
We love David Hess.
Yeah. We have some great David Hess stories, by the way, if you listen to the Marc Sheffler interview, by the way.
Yeah.
Because when we met, that's the thing, David Hess did this role, but David Hess was David Hess was upset that people would find him scary, even though Krug is, it's a very convincing, that's the thing, like, for a low-budget film from the 70s, with the exception of, like, the weird shit with the fucking, the police, the acting is really good in this.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and poor David Hess thought that, like, people didn't like him or were afraid of him and all that stuff. And we're talking about how, like, Julie and Demon Hunter, like, people won't watch it because they're just like, oh no, Chelsea acts like that!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah. But so David Hess made some of the happiest music around.
Mm-hmm.
And Weasel and Sadie and Junkie and Dad run for a run and run barbershop band. Like it's actually very catchy.
No, I like the music a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, while they put Mary and Phyllis in the trunk and they go driving and my dad talking about what do you think the sex crime of the century is and and of course there's some comedy there with Sadie mispronouncing Sigmund Freud.
Yes.
Calling him Freud. Remember when a telephone pole was just a telephone pole, and now it's just giant Fahalis. I can't look at the Grand Canyon without crossing my legs.
I love how you didn't even look at your notes for that. You just knew it.
Of course I know. I've seen this movie probably like a dozen and a half times.
We saw it at the MoMA, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's considered a classic of horror, actually.
Yeah, one of the top 7 most influential films ever, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is weird, because I don't think it actually influenced me with anything.
You're like, okay, influenced me to, like, listen to my dad, maybe.
No, it didn't. In fact, my dad always would talk about what a piece of shit he thought this movie was. If anything, me watching it and enjoying it was like my dad. So there's a commentary, and here's the thing, and this is like, me, all joking aside, it's from the heart here, that I love the fact that, like, if I ever want to listen to my dad talk, like, I can just listen to the commentaries on Last House on the Left. Mm-hmm. And he mentions me at one point, where he talks about how, my kid keeps embarrassing me by saying that I'm in this fucking piece of shit. And he's like, my kid's very weird, and he likes this movie, and I wish he wouldn't tell people I was in it.
Here we are, Fred. We are podcasting about it wherever you are. We don't know.
Yes. So anyway, at this point, the the parents are
freaking out because they said the concert's going to be over around 2, and that pissed me off. I made a note of that. A concert being over at 2. can't fly here. You have to pay $250,000 in order to like play past 11 in Manhattan right now.
Let me tell you why. That's Michael Bloomberg. When I was in my fucking 20s, literally until fucking early 2000s, band shows would go till 4 a.m.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
We played at a show where we were on at fucking midnight.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know that, like, there's been several times I've been to MSG and, like, and people have paid the, like, it's between $100,000 and $250,000 depending upon the day of the week.
No, it's Michael Bloomberg, because I remember when it started happening and we were really angry about it. Because I remember when we saw Camp Kill Yourself and Cradle of Filth.
Oh, Cradle.
And they were done by 11:30 and we were like, what the fuck?
This is some bullshit.
Yeah, it was at the, I don't even know what they fucking call the place now, but it was the Sony Theater at the time, the one that's on 43rd, I think it is.
Oh, it's the Best Buy Theater.
It's Best Buy now?
No, it's Best Buy's gone now. It's something else.
So, yeah, every 2 weeks a different company buys this fucking venue.
Yeah, I saw Ringo Starr there. How funny is
Yeah.
that?
Was he buying a ticket? Anyway.
Whoa! You made your dad proud.
But that's 100% Bloomberg, and it was Christine Quinn on the New York City Council that started that. Because literally, like, we would go to CBGB's and it would close at like fucking 2-3 in the morning. Yeah, that was, and bands would be playing that whole time. I remember seeing fucking Penis Flytrap. And,
What's it called?
Penis Flytrap, which was an awesome, Penis Flytrap. Their lead singer was it was the lead singer of 45 Grave, whose name was Dinah Cancer.
Oh my god! I'm sorry, this is all way too much for me right now. We're in a fucking like a box of a room, and you're just like spouting this fucking nonsense that I had no idea about.
Yeah, no, Penis.
I'm not ready.
Penis Flytrap with their
Penis Flytrap.
Yes.
Mom, Penis Flytrap.
And I remember when the show got out, it was like 3 in the morning.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Yeah, when the show got out, it was 3 in the morning, and I remember we went to like some party in Brooklyn. That's the one where I lost my tooth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Penis Flytrap.
Yep, Penis Flytrap.
And that was Last House on the Left.
Yes. So, anyway, so their phone is working now again, and then later on their phone is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was working and then it wasn't working again before you even cut it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, internet outage, right?
Yeah.
Landlines. Yeah. I was actually in a house the other day that had a landline.
Really?
Yeah. In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still can get one if you want one, but no one really has one.
Can you also get a penis flytrap if you want one?
I'm sure you can get a penis flytrap. I'm not going to mention anyone's name who I'm sure owns one. Anyway, so we see the woods of Connecticut where they shot stuff.
Where they shot stuff.
Yeah, and they actually show some of the same B-roll that was in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, they reused the B-roll. It's an indie film.
Which later inspired... Anyway, to just reuse the same B-roll 25 fucking times!
You don't even care about her name being used anymore. You just say it all.
I do not
give...
It's... Don't, just because you spell your name wrong doesn't mean that I have to.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
I'm gonna get fucking... She knows karate, man. Yikes. Chelsea, bad Chelsea.
So,
very bad.
Anyway.
I'm a professional.
Yes, as am I.
At karate.
I'm a purple belt. Who knows?
I'm a purple belt.
I'm a purple belt, and my dad knew Martin Kove, who ran the Cobra Kai. So there you go.
I am Cobra Kai.
By the way, the crane kick from Karate Kid is actually a really bad kick to use. It opens up your fucking... You're on one leg, so you're balancing. I would go right for the knee if you were doing the fucking crane kick. So,
good for you.
yes.
That's amazing. I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah, well, That's life. So
it's what all the people say.
So
oh my God, we sound like we're fucked up, and we're not.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of kazoo music. Okay. So also, at this point, Sadie is having sex with Krug while they're in the car.
What you do?
And there's kazoo music playing.
Oh yeah, and she's just like on top of him.
She's just bouncing up and down.
You're gonna ruin the audio.
And and I wrote how I've never actually had sex like that. Because I don't really do, in
a car like that. I've done it for fun.
Yeah.
I've been like, hey.
While the car was driving, or.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it the driver?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it was also a limo, so I feel like that doesn't count.
No, that's totally different. Limos are made for fucking.
This limo was made for fucking.
But I also love how Weasel says that his brother is a plumber and gets 3 weeks vacation and makes about the same amount of money he does.
Fucking brilliant.
And then of course Krug comes early, like Christmas, at our sale.
I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah. Certainly wouldn't be me.
No.
It was
not you.
Nope. I can't imagine who the person might be, though.
No clue.
Obviously someone I wouldn't know.
Absolutely not.
Yes. Anyway. So, the car is not working.
I wrote there's amazing fucking music right here.
Yes.
That's what I wrote. There's amazing the kazoo music.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. That's my rendition of the Last House on the Left.
He's back in the music industry, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, obviously.
Yes. So,
it should be. Anyway, continue.
At this point, we cut to the so the car isn't working.
So I'm just reading my notes. It doesn't make any sense. Got this feeling in the back of my neck. Crabs is what I wrote.
Oh yeah, well, because he says maybe you've got crabs.
Oh, okay.
And
and
Krug is just kind of shrugs. He's like, could be.
We did not watch this movie yesterday.
No.
So,
but that's the thing is, it doesn't matter because we still have it committed to memory.
We have everything you do.
Yes.
Crabs.
Yes, because it's
goblins
and
oh my god! Ow!
And
we're getting too old for this shit.
Oh my god! This is the best episode ever.
This is the worst episode ever. It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yes.
Do you want a CCL squared completely unhinged?
Yes. Who are not drunk at all.
No.
Oddly.
It's sad.
Oddly, when we say that seriously, that was not sarcasm.
That was not. No, I wish I was.
Yeah. We are actually completely sober at the moment. Well, I am.
I had weed, but that was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we cut to, but yes, the car isn't working. Junior apparently knows about as much about cars as I do. Because he, maybe you can describe this part, because he pulled something out of the car, but I guess it's a part that is normally supposed to be.
I have a car, doesn't mean I know anything about cars.
Okay. So.
I wrote, I want mashed potatoes. Why did I write that? I wrote, where is it? I wrote, I want mashed potatoes.
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
We watched this together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did I really want mashed potatoes?
You did not inquire. You did not say, "Hey, Charles, do you have mashed potatoes filling your pockets?" And I was like, "By Chelsea,
did.
I do." No, like
he did.
You know,
he's a liar. He always has mashed potatoes
and
chicken nuggets in his pockets.
Yes, just I'm filled with tinier men. Anyway, so at this point. The police are called. They are eating Mary's cake, which is very rude.
Yeah, that's rude as fuck.
Yeah. And so when the police leave... So at this point, they while they're trying to fix the car, Krug and Company, which was one of the original titles of the film, by the way.
Really?
Yep. Along with Night of Vengeance and Sex Crime of the Century.
Oh.
Yes, all of those were titles at one point or another.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So, At one point in the and by the way, if you want to after hearing us ramble for all this part, you then get to listen to Marc Sheffler. Fill you in on some of the behind the scenes stuff in the story. So you hopefully enjoy that. But we're gonna take a break in like maybe 5 minutes for our commercials. But yeah, basically at this point they're trying to fix the car, so they open the trunk and Mary and Phyllis are in there.
Yes.
Yeah, and doesn't Phyllis try to run or something like that?
Phyllis tries to run, but before that, we missed that the cops got a call.
Yeah.
And they
drove
right past the car.
No, that's after.
Oh, it's after.
Because they'd still be in the car if it was. They have to get out of the car and go into the woods.
It was either this or the remake where they drove past the car with the girls in it, or am I just thinking? I watched too much murder porn.
That was the remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this one, so, at that point, kind of, Krug and Weasel realize we got to do something about these girls.
Yep.
So they take them out into the middle of the woods, and we cut away to now the sheriff leaving, and he sees the empty car. Deputy asks, should we call that in? And he's like, nah.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so...
I wrote, the deputy's famous, he wants cake.
Yes. Yes. So, so we'll let's just do what happens in the woods, and then we'll go from there.
You start it, I'll find it.
Yeah. So.
Jesus. Okay, I found it.
Yeah. So they go to. So basically, they gather Mary and Phyllis into the middle of the woods, and Krug tells Weasel to take out his knife. And I'm going to tell this lady here to do something, and if she doesn't do exactly what I tell her to, I want you to cut her. I want you to cut her friend.
I want you to cut her friend.
Yeah.
So they take the gags out of their mouths, and they ask Phyllis to piss her pants.
Yeah. And Lucy Graham has actually said that that she really just peed her pants for the scene. They didn't have any prosthetics or any sort of tubes or anything like that, so she really just peed herself. I look at that. The thing that always got me about that is that I think they actually missed the shot.
Yeah.
Because you see her pants have already been pissed in. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe they were focusing on her face when she peed, and then they're probably like,
Fuck, pan down, pan down!
Yeah. Because she is, and that's the thing, when you're working with film, it's not as forgiving as digital. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, if you're working with pee, it's especially not forgiving, because,
When we've used, for the most part, prosthetics or whatever.
We've used a tube with apple juice. Yeah. We've only ever used it once, and that's when Chelsea really had to go.
I really had to pee, and I told him to film it.
Yes. Yes. So, and then they take off her pants, and she tells Phyllis to hit Mary. And Junior at this point says, you're going to kill someone if you're not careful. And don't have them beat each other up. Why don't you have them make it with each other?
Yeah, make it with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took me a while to be like, what does that even mean?
It makes it's just dialogue. It's just like slang.
Yeah.
Because like me growing up in the 80s, that makes perfect sense.
Make it with each other.
Yeah.
It means fuck each other, right?
Yeah. So, the girls are stripped naked.
And it devastates me at this point when like Phyllis is like kind of like mom like coaching.
Yeah,
Mary
because Mary is freaking the fuck out at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you would, and it's interesting though, because one of my friends, I remember when she saw this when we were teens, and she said the thing that bothered her was when Phyllis is trying to say, it's just us, there's nobody else here. Yeah. Trying to at least get Mary to be more comfortable.
Fuck, now I'm depressed.
And, and my friend was like, that wouldn't make me any more comfortable. Like, me and my friend don't make out. Like, so, if there was nobody, and I'll say, and this is my story before we go off for our break, I had a thing I filmed, and it was with a good friend of mine, Lena, the director said to us, we're not here. Just pretend that, just pretend like you guys, are doing whatever. And we turned to him and goes, you don't want that. It's like, we don't, go and have weird, kinky sex with each other when we're not being filmed, dude. We'd be, fucking talking about Powers Booth, arresting people at banks. That's not what you want on film. Just tell us what you want us to do. I thought that was the weirdest thing, where it was because he knew we were friends, and it's we don't fucking do scenes with fire and shit like that when we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
I thought that was the weirdest instruction that I've ever gotten, in when I was working in more adult stuff. I
pretend we're not here. I'm like, no. Do you want a good product?
Yeah, we were just tell us what to do, dude. We if we pretend you're not here, we're gonna start just talking about weird dolphin sex or whatever.
Oh, do you ever hear Galapagos turtle sex noise?
Yes. Yes. There's that video of the turtle.
But usually.
Yes.
Little baby.
Yes. Exactly. What I love about that video, and you can find it on YouTube if you look for Turtle Has Amazing Orgasm. Amazing Orgasm.
No, turtle sex noises.
Yes.
Just prime. It's so good.
But on
YouTube.
But on YouTube, I believe that's the actual title, is Turtle Has Amazing Orgasm.
They let orgasm slide on YouTube?
Yes, you can have that on there.
Oh.
But what's great about it is you look at this turtle, and it's and then you look at the female turtle. She is just looking straight ahead. She is not reacting to anything. And I was just like, wow, I guess that happens in more than one species.
It happens in all of them.
Yeah, Jesus. So that's the lesson for today, kids. And we're going to take a break right now. And we'll be right back.
We will be.
In?
What?
Really? You've been doing this with me for so long and you don't know to say, we'll be right back in?
After I poop.
No. It's 2 and 2.
And 2 and 2.
Yeah, there you go.
We haven't podcasted in a while.
Yes, but still.
Life has been crazy, man.
Still, man.
Oh, he's so disappointed in me.
Yes.
We'll be back after I go number 2 and then number 2.
Oh, no one wants to know that.
I don't actually have to poop.
Okay. Well, now their image of you
Disappointed.
is, yes, because girls don't poop. It's a scientifically proven fact.
Yes.
Anyway, I laugh because I grew up in a house of women. Anyway.
My shit don't stink.
Yes.
Yes.
It smells of roses and
butterflies. What do butterflies actually
don't have
smell
a smell. I was going to say.
Have you smelled a butterfly?
I was going to say gooseberries.
I feel like that's worse somehow.
I don't even know what a gooseberry is.
I don't even.
Anyway, we are not drunk. And we will be. It's so weird. I think we're more rambling than the RoboCop episode. And that one, we were fucking blasted. And this one, we are literally sober. So, I don't know. But come back.
And see how we are after
yes.
the commercial
break. All right, everyone.
Hey, everyone. So, we're back.
And in a different location.
Yes, a completely different location. And we're wearing different clothes from last time.
What?
So we might even, go back over something we might have said before, only because so much shit happened, and some of it.
Some time has passed since we recorded the first half.
Probably about 2 weeks or something, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna try to start from where we left off. Probably won't be exactly from where we left off, but you'll have to bear with us.
Yeah, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah. I guess they could, fast forward until the exact moment. But
that's what I meant.
Yeah, what I remember was that we were talking about the girls had just gotten naked and they were saying to each other, "Oh, it's just you and me."
Yeah,
and that was.
We were talking about how that seemed like it's a weird thing to say. We were saying something.
It was a friend of mine who said that back when we were because she was talking about with her best friend, and she was like, "I don't think I'd feel more comfortable going down on her, Yeah. If it doesn't matter if there's other people there." She's like, "We don't have that type of relationship." So,
yes,
yeah.
So then we go to the sheriff's office where there's just lots of ineptitude.
Yeah, they're just really bad at their job.
Yeah, it's just a lot of really bad comedy between Martin Kove, who those of you out there will know is the Cobra Kai guy, and the sheriff. And it's stuff like, I wish I was somewhere else in time. You mean like a duck or something? Like, you could honestly cut every one of these fucking scenes with the police out of the film.
Yeah, you don't really need any of them.
No.
At all.
No. Well, then you wouldn't have gotten Ada Washington. The chicken
That's the
lady.
most important. I know who the chicken lady is.
Of course.
Even though time has passed, the chicken lady will never pass.
Yeah, is she still alive? Because I'd want to know why she isn't doing the convention circuit.
Yeah.
You know?
We should Google that.
Yeah, I will get right on that.
Yes.
So, anyway, let's see. I'm trying to skip past a guy having sex with
tell me that.
dog, and he had puppies, and I don't.
Well, puppies are important.
Yeah, but not when they're half human. Because then they're just creepy.
Get to where you want to start, and then I'll go. And
they're just creepy, like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers dog with the human face.
You know, I've read like 7 different scripts recently that have in their in their scene directions. It says like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I hate it when screenwriters do that. Like be like Carrie, But everyone's doing that right now, making some sort of reference to it.
I don't, because that's dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The story is don't be dumb.
That bothers me because it shows a lack of being able to accurately describe something in the actions of your script.
Oh my god, that's a good idea. I'm going to tell them that.
Yeah, no, that's what it does. Instead of just being like, oh, he let's just say from a scene from Asian Body Snatchers, instead of being like she walks slowly and apprehensively. He turns to her with his mouth open and points, and a horrible sound comes out. It's, just like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
It's such a measly, weak way of saying it.
I'm in a movie where they said that in the directions, too, and I remember just, saying to my director, I was like, I've never seen it, because at the time I hadn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you mentioned that on the episode.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
God, it's like I know what I'm doing sometimes. Yes.
Sometimes. Anyway,
tell me where we are so I can find it in my goddamn notes.
I'm trying to find where the fuck we are because I'm trying to skip all this bullshit with the fucking sheriff's office.
Okay.
Unless he left town real sudden once before.
Just before so not in the right
collie
place.
Came down with a litter of pups.
Now I know where we are.
Yeah. So let's go back to Krug is going back to the car.
So Mary is sobbing. That's okay, yeah.
Yeah, Krug's going back to the car to get something to cut a little firewood with. And I don't think he's going for actual firewood.
No, that thing couldn't cut firewood.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Right? Yeah. It's just a little teeny tiny thing.
I've never, I would know. Do you think I have ever cut firewood in my entire life?
No, but I think I'm going to make you.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying me, writing a script and paying me to do it, then...
I think that now I have to do that.
Yeah, you kind of have to. And because I'm going to want the extra money for chopping the fucking wood, but, I've never chopped...
I got a fireplace.
Yeah, well, then pay me $300.
$300? Yes. Excuse me, can we get some lumberjacks weighing in on this?
Yes.
Because that seems like a steep price, especially when I have the equipment.
That is my hourly wood chopping rate.
It's probably a fair rate.
Yes, exactly.
I have no idea.
Yes. Those guys live in the fucking woods and wear flannels all fucking year. Do you think that they don't get paid a lot?
I want to wear a flannel. No, I don't.
I mean, I guess you could.
Flannel reminds me of, picnics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it the
blanket?
The blanket? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had many picnics. Well, I've had picnics, but not in...
I haven't had many picnics.
I think the last picnic I had was literally the first day I met Ariel from Teresa and Allison.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the last picnic I went to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Picnics are underrated.
We had one it was me and actually a mutual friend of hers and I's. In Central Park.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing to do. There's, everyone here goes and hangs out in the park with a picnic blanket. And, like in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes. That's what they do. Like in the beginning of Happiness. Anyway, if you ever see Happiness, that'll be really funny.
I've never seen Happiness.
What?
I've never seen Happy Death.
I know. I have it right there. Too bad you can't. You don't have time.
I know.
But I also have to show you Dogma because
oh yeah.
there's no other way for you to watch that.
Oh, I need to like take time off of life.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So anyway, so he's going to the car to get something to cut firewood with.
Yes.
And you can handle things while I'm gone, can't you, to my daddy? And Phyllis says she's really cold, and she asks, can she put on her clothes? He says, sure. Mary is just having a real bad time here.
Yeah, she's not doing good either. She talks to Junior. That's where that happens,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So she asks Junior if he has a girlfriend because she wants to be his friend, and Junior's like, "No, you want to be free." Like, not that dumb.
Yeah.
And he said that she can like get him methadone and get him a fix, and yeah. But of course he's like, "I can't leave. Krug will kill me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She starts referring to him as Willow. Just tying this into all the other previous films we've spoken of here, from the innkeeper's daughter in The Wicker Man. Yeah. And then Phyllis says she's going to make a run for it. When they go after me, go for help. She says this directly in front of Weasel and Sadie.
Yeah.
Like, unless she thinks Weasel and Sadie have gone deaf.
Yes, they're
suddenly. Deaf. That's really bad to, like, you know, they're, like, within a foot
like
of you.
Yeah, like, maybe step a couple feet away.
Here's my plan. You know.
What'd you say?
Yeah, you know. You have to speak up, I can't hear you. Oh, okay, here is my plan.
Oh,
you know.
God. Oh, God.
So Weasel and Sadie go searching for Phyllis. My dad was telling me about how one of his ideas was when Sadie trips that Weasel stops to check and see if she's okay.
Oh.
Because he said that he wanted to, to show that they actually cared about each other in that group.
Aww. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Isn't this where, so Weasel's gonna go get her. Phyllis falls. I like that I'm gonna kill you. Who says that? Sadie. Oh, no, so she hits Sadie.
That's my dad who says it. I'm gonna kill you because he hit Sadie. Yeah.
Oh, yes. So Sadie gets hit with the rock.
She uses a homophobic slur and hits Sadie, which kind of shows the time that this movie's in.
Yes.
That now that particular line you wouldn't give to a protagonist.
How is this movie at the moment?
You would give that line to an antagonist to show they're homophobic. You wouldn't give that line, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So, oh Jesus, there's more fucking. Oh my God.
Phyllis is in the cemetery. There's Krug. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's because I was looking. I'm like, oh my God, the fucking police are playing strip. What the fuck? Why is that happening?
They're playing strip poker?
Yes, the police were playing strip poker.
Is that a joke?
No, they were playing strip poker.
I blocked that out then.
Yeah. It's only hinted at, but it's Martin Cove taking off his tie.
Oh my God, I might have just missed that entirely.
Yeah, he loses a hand at in poker and then has to take off his tie.
Ooh.
And you see
Did you ever play strip poker?
Of course I've never played strip poker because I can't play poker.
Yeah, I
played strip other games.
Strip other games, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite has always been strip Never Have I Ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, I lose that game every time.
I've never lost at it.
You're always the last one out?
Yes.
I'm always the first one out.
Yeah, see.
I kind of feel like a winner
The last time I played that, I was the only guy. And I, of course, started whipping out I have never had a period. I have never used a pregnancy test.
They probably all wanted to murder you.
Well, you know, the best part is then it came down to me. Because I was down to, like, having one sock, and then I just started whipping out, like, all those cheap answers. And then it came down to me and my old bass player who had been in the Marines.
Oh.
So I started whipping out I have never thrown a grenade. Yeah.
Have they thrown a grenade?
Of course, she was in the Marines. She was a sharpshooter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. She, because the rule we had was, if you were the only one who has not done something, you get to put an item of clothing back on.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We thought that was actually, I didn't even make that rule up. It was my friend from England who made that up.
Really?
Because I thought that was actually a really interesting wrinkle to it.
A wrinkle? And that's an interesting wrinkle.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I think that's actually an interesting rule.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you're the only person who hasn't done it, you get to put one item of clothing back on.
Yeah, I like that. I might steal that.
Yeah, so that's when I started whipping out I have never had a period. I have never,
Low blows.
I was right about to lose, and I turned the whole game
Huzzah.
around and won.
Because then you're the only one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing was, no one thought to say, like, I have never had a boner or anything like that. No one...
Really?
Yeah, no one thought to, like, try to turn that around on me.
I've had a boner.
Lady boner. There you go.
Yes, lady blue balls are real. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes. Let's see. Phyllis is running through a graveyard.
Yeah.
The music sounds like the beginning of Leader of the Pack at this point.
Krug shows up. Yeah,
Yep.
Krug has been, of course, still just gone from his group. And then she's surrounded by Sadie, Weasel, and Krug. And Weasel stabs her from behind. Low blow, Dad.
Yeah, they had to cut this scene out. They had to cut this scene severely. I've seen 4 different versions of this scene.
Oh, this is the guts one.
Yeah, this is the one my dad was telling me that they were, like, filling condoms with ketchup and stuff, so that they were, like, biting through what looked like her intestines, and...
Ew.
Oh, yeah, no, they, like, completely, like, fucking butchered her, in the, like, real...
I want to see that version.
That doesn't even...
I feel like I've seen a more intense version.
There's a more intense version with no audio.
Yes.
Because that was something found in someone's garage in, like, the early 2000s.
That's so weird.
Yeah. But even that wasn't the full scene.
Oh.
Yeah, they're according to everyone involved in the film, those they don't even know if those scenes exist anymore. Those shots exist anymore.
Yeah, so it's really gross. Watch it if you haven't watched it.
Yeah. Her pants fall. I don't know if her pants just fall down from the blood or if they pulled her pants down, but I don't know which one's going on there.
I don't know.
Yeah. My dad is his switchblade. She's crawling.
Is that what he used to chop the trees?
Yes, the switchblade.
Yes.
That would not take forever
I
at
know.
all. Krug, that's the thing. Krug got a machete. That wouldn't help at all. But yeah, they're just doing all sorts of unpleasant things to Phyllis.
Yeah, it's really awful how horrible they treat her.
Yeah, so Mary is leading Junior away, and then they run into Krug and company, and Mary falls to the ground. Mary asks about Phyllis. Did she get away? Krug shakes his hand, and he pulls out Phyllis's severed hand.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, man.
And of course, then they cut to bullshit with the cops.
Yeah. I wrote with the cop scene, how the fuck did they not hear them screaming? Like, that's not possible.
I don't know. I've never really...
We should test that. See how, like, far I can go in the woods and scream and see
Yeah,
if you can hear me from
that
there.
actually would be a good test, because
Yeah.
I've never really screamed. I've been in woods a lot. I used to...
Me too.
Yeah, no, for, like, when I used to live at home, at a certain point I realized there were these woods in Queens, and that's where I would go with girls to have sex.
That's funny.
Because, like, it was like, oh, this is the most isolated place we can go where we don't have anyone, like, interrupting us.
Yeah.
And it was, like, something that I discovered no one ever fucking went there. I literally never ran into other people there.
That's weird.
Yeah. We've even shot... my very first music video we even shot in there.
I want to go.
But, I don't even know if it's still there. They might have paved it by now.
Right.
It would still be like a fucking... It's one of those things we have to get off the last stop in the fucking F in Queens and then take a bus.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Chelsea, you have woods in your backyard. I don't need to go see this.
But, yeah, like, it was, but we never did any screaming there except for, and that wasn't really screaming, so...
It was, though, don't lie.
Yes, I would be like, ow, my toe. Because that's what I say when I come. I just scream, ow, my toe.
I say, get me a plant.
Ow, my toe!
Where's my plant?
Yes, Harvey Weinstein just shooting his seed all over.
Yes.
All over America like Johnny Appleseed, literally.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's clever.
Yes.
King of puns.
King
of segues.
So they rape Mary.
Yes. Brutally.
Yep.
It's pretty fucking awful.
Yeah.
Get yours.
Yeah.
I hate Krug drooling on her.
I thought that was a really good touch.
Well, it's a great touch. It's awful.
Yeah. So, and then when they're done, there's kind of the awkward looks at each other as Mary gets up and goes to walk away.
Yeah, she's praying. She's doing the now I lay me down to
Well,
sleep
even before
prayer.
that, before she starts walking away, she gives them that, like,
She
look
looks
that they're
recognize
not
her.
stopping her.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I guess, you know, they're trying to, she throws up, and then she starts doing the praying. And
yes. So she prays. They follow her as she walks.
Very sad David Hess music playing here.
Yes. She goes to the river, and she goes into the river. Weasel gives Krug a revolver, and he shoots her, and she floats too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that water looks so fucking gross.
It looks so gross. And her dog, poor dog, hears the second gunshot, and then the third. Yeah. And then there's more stupid cop shit.
Yeah. That's where the real star of the movie shows
Chicken
up.
Lady.
The Ada Washington.
I wrote Ada Chicken Lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wrote, I'm not taking notes in this libel against my bloodline.
That's true.
So.
That's true. Also, chickens are dogs.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Ada Washington, everyone.
Yeah. So my dad's calling for water. And he's doing it in, of course, a very 1970s racist manner. Apparently that was just my dad improvising.
Oh, nice.
That was, and you were the one to point out that their socks and shoes are wet because they were going in the river.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Oh, yeah, socks and shoes are wet. I wrote that down.
Yeah.
I said, take your fucking shoes off. That's what I wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, Mother and Father are playing solitaire.
Yes.
And Krug and company show up as guests. They're all dressed up. My dad cuts the wire on the TV. And they say their car broke down right out in front.
Oh, and they're going as Harvey Wilson and Dorothy and
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
And Dave?
I don't remember.
Okay. You just kept saying yes to me anyway. I like this attitude.
Yeah.
This is great.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna said that they blew a rod. He wants them to drive them to a hotel, but they have a guest room.
They blew a guy named Rod.
They blew Rod's rod.
Well, now you just made it dirty, Chelsea.
That's my job. So they put her in They put them in Mary's room, which is fucked up. Overnight. Our home is yours. Let me get your bags. Yeah.
I also wrote two things here. So they say that they have to. The parents say that the garage closes at 6 and the phone is still dead. Wasn't there a scene where earlier they established that the phone had been fixed?
Yes, there was. Earlier they said the phone had been fixed, and so the phone doesn't work, then it does work, and then they cut the wire.
Yeah, but when they cut the wire, they've already said the phone doesn't work.
They had it fixed.
Yeah.
There was something about it being fixed, I swear.
But then there's a line where one of them says, "Oh, our phone is still dead." Mm-hmm. That's why I wrote in my notes, didn't they fix the phone?
Yeah, they did fix the phone.
Yeah,
I caught that too.
Yeah. So, I noticed David Hess in a suit somehow looks more intimidating.
I like it.
Well, I mean, you go for very bad men.
That is very true.
So,
I cannot deny that.
Yes. So they all go to Mary's room. The lady of the house is nice, my dad says, of course. Junior wants his fix. And that's when, guess who lives here?
Yeah, they figure out who lives there. It's really fucked up. What odds are on that? I couldn't even tell you. And then there's more cop shit. So they're at dinner. They're all at the dining room table. And they talk about the food. And there's weird ass fucking music. I wrote that. I don't know what the fuck it was. You can see that there's bite marks in someone's hand. And Sadie is just gulping down wine. And it's amazing. She just does not give a fuck. Someone has a bandage on his head. Who is that? Someone, I don't know, like a boo-boo. Whatever. So that they're on business and they're all saying that they do different shit like plumbing and insurance and
then Sadie tries to to take what Krug and Weasel said and try to make it make sense.
Sell insurance to plumbing companies.
Yes, in case they steal a toilet or something.
That's so good. So Junior's having a fever dream. He wants to chase the dragon, man. Craig. His name's Craig now.
He wants to chase the dragon?
It's a heroin reference.
I know that, but
isn't that the same thing?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Oh.
I've never done it.
I know, but I'm saying, where did you suddenly get the urge to use that particular expression?
I wrote it down.
Oh.
I'm reading notes from 3 weeks ago.
Sure. So, when he goes in there and Junior's having flashbacks about Mary. Mm-hmm. Krug goes in there to check on him. It's like, you're worse than your goddamn mother.
Yes.
And I love my father covering with a he lost one of our biggest accounts last week. $500,000 down the drain, so to speak.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
He kind of takes it on himself.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah.
And so here's where we have, and we bring this up when we the interview with Marc Sheffler, where Krug is like people in China eating with sticks, and these creeps got 16 utensils for every pea on the plate. And it's kind of interesting, the whole like little class, awareness that they have here.
It's true.
It's
true.
So meanwhile, they're not going to give. I also noticed the Jim Beam bottle hasn't changed since 1972.
I wrote that too.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's exactly what a Jim Beam bottle looks like now.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. So Junior is vomiting because he's going through withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
And
the dragon went to sleep.
Yeah, so the mother goes in to check on him. She's in full housewife clothes.
She sleeps in that?
Apparently.
I hate sleeping in
Probably
clothes.
Wears a pearl necklace, too, and not the fun kind.
So the necklace that Junior is wearing is Mary's, or he has it.
Yeah.
And he says he doesn't want a doctor. Yeah.
He just wants to get his fix. And they overhear him saying, "We got to get out of here if they find out we killed their kid." And
Fucking
he's like,
idiots.
"Shut up, you'll wind up in the lake with her."
Oh, yeah.
And at this point I wrote, if Mrs. Collingwood had gone to the police, none of this would have ever happened.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
The road leads to nowhere as mother and father go to the lake until they find Mary's body. And we cut to the nightmare sequence of them putting a screwdriver in my dad's teeth. A chisel, not a screwdriver.
Yeah, it was a chisel taking off his 2 front teeth. It was awesome.
Yeah, according to a couple people, that was also his idea.
That makes sense. So he awakes with the start. God, what was I on that night where I wrote it like that?
He wakes with the start while chasing the dragon. I guess you were suddenly what's-his-face from What We Do in the Shadows today. You were fucking Jackie Daytona or something.
Thank you.
Regular American human Jackie Daytona.
Regular human. Yes, American human.
Yeah. So, I've seen so many people, when I've watched Last House on the Left with people, I've seen so many people jump when the chisel goes into the hammer. The hammer goes into the chisel on his teeth.
Yeah.
So, at this point, Wes Craven is indulging his love of people building death traps. Because he loves putting this in his films. I can think of 3 films off the top of my head with scenes of people just building, like, Home Alone death traps in their house. Nightmare on Elm Street, People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more. I have only seen Scream once and hated it, so I don't know if there's even a scene like that in that.
It probably is.
But Wes Craven loves the idea of just someone making their home a death trap.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually sounds kind of fun. Renter's insurance exists for a reason.
Well, I mean, that could solve one of your problems if you just one day decide to do that.
Fuck up.
Just keep the girls in somewhere else and just make the whole place like a death trap.
That would only solve... No, it wouldn't solve anything. It would not solve a single thing.
So the mother's sitting in the living room swirling tattoos. That's weird.
Swirling tattoos while she chases a dragon.
Swirling champagne.
Swirling tattoos.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. I didn't even write that.
I just gave you my stupid.
Yeah. So my dad uses his seductive powers. The Lincoln, just our natural primal powers of seduction. Which somehow works. I don't know how, but it does. Wow.
That's going to be the thumbnail. I'm just staring at you with disgust.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, my dad did once ask my ex-girlfriend if, at the time she was my girlfriend, but, the first time I ever let my girlfriend speak to him, and, he got on the phone, and, she's like, yes, sir, blah, blah, blah. And then she laughs and goes, yes, sir, he does give me the good dick. And I'm like, okay, give me the phone. Give me the phone right now. And he's like, hey, we have a reputation in my family. I had to make sure you're maintaining it.
Oh, my fucking Christ. Pretty boy.
Yeah, so there you go. But, so he's using the seductive Lincoln powers to get Mom to go out and to,
the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, see, that's where her husband is. He's afraid of me. Yeah, I only wish he could make love, he could make love to a woman, and I could make love to a looker like you with my hands tied behind my back.
Okay, then do it.
Yep, and she convinces Weasel to go outside. I've always dreamed of a man who could take me easily, with his hands tied behind his back. Believe me, I can literally do that. I'm so super.
I'm so super.
Yes, thanks for asking. That's a South Park joke.
Is it?
So, yes, she gets him caught in a zipper, which, by the way, every man gets caught in a zipper probably only once in his life, because afterwards you try to avoid doing that ever again.
Makes sense.
Yes.
That sounds awful.
And her like, oh, I caught it on your little thing. How did I do that? Shall I just give it a little yank? And it's not little, it's just scared.
That's all.
So meanwhile,
Sweet.
the father, not my father, is hovering above Krug and Sadie in bed.
Mm-hmm.
He takes Krug's gun. Krug opens his eyes because he's a very light sleeper.
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
My-
and the dad's staring at him, but Krug goes back to sleep.
Mm-hmm. My dad speaks of premature ejaculation. Oh, I can come 5 or 6 times if you want me to. She goes down, and then she bites it, and my dad said the way they did that was he put his belt through his zipper. And so, because originally she was just doing that with nothing to bite on, and it didn't look real, so he took his belt loop and put it through his zipper so that she could put the belt in her mouth and just shake her head.
That makes sense.
And it makes it look like she's, trying to rip something off.
So yeah, she bites his dick off, which is just like, definitely the first time it's ever been done in a movie. Come on.
Maybe. I'd have to look at maybe biting.
Maybe biting it off.
Yeah, I'd have to look at when the original I Spit on Your Grave came out, because that does have a dick getting cut off.
Right. No, this is the biting off. So.
Yeah. So this is also why I have no ability to feel shame, because that was just my dad. Was
getting
the
his
guy
dick bitten off.
Yeah, my dad got his dick bitten off in a movie. So you at that point you can't be like, oh man, I hope no one sees my butt. You just grow up with no sense of shame in your body if that's what happened to your father.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's the last we ever see of Fred Weasel Podolsky.
That's true.
Yeah, it's often assumed that he bled to death, but they had actually talked about a sequel with my dad in it. And my dad, of course,
with Ada Washington.
No, it was not. But my dad actually did a very dumb career move at that point and was like, I've done my horror movie, now it's time for me to be a leading man. And of course, those roles never came. But, it's my dad said when he did the Chiller Theater Convention, that's when he was like, wow, I guess this is what my life would have been like if I had chosen to do those movies instead,
Yeah, damn.
Because he said he got a ton of horror offers after Last House on the Left.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, but he turned all of them down because he thought, okay, well, now it's time for me to be a dramatic actor.
Good job, Freddie boy.
Well, I've learned from it, though.
Yeah.
I've learned from it. And, it's one of the things that I always like to say, because it's so true, about, and it's different with me directing because I always try to make sure people are playing something different than what they played before. But as far as for myself, I've always looked at it as, the key word in typecast is cast.
Yes.
Because, people are like, oh, I don't want to be typecast. Oh, you don't want to work a lot.
Yeah, I really hate that. So many people have lost so many jobs.
Yeah, you don't want to work over and over again.
And you get judged for, I get judged by other women for modeling in lingerie because I'm cheating by using my sexuality. I'm like, I'm sexy. I'm going to monetize that.
Especially, that's the thing.
Fucking idiot.
It's one of those things where it's absolutely ridiculous that people, don't realize you don't have this forever.
Yeah.
Your role, the type of roles you will be offered and the type of roles you can get will change throughout your whole life. And when you're in a particular kind, whether it's a child actor, whether it's the sexy femme fatale, whether it's a mom, whether it's a grandmother, you can only, if you just skip those roles because of whatever, during that time, the time eventually comes you can't get them anymore.
Yep. Take jobs, be grateful, do the work.
Exactly.
Show your tits.
Yes. Hold on. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. So, well, you told me to.
I did.
Yes.
I was talking to all of them, but it's fine.
Okay. Well, if they want to show you their tits, they
Ballroom
can.
Blitz, show your tits. I saw that in a bar once when I was a kid.
Well.
And then all the women did. There was like a biker gang in Cape Cod, and my mother was like, or my
Did
dad
your mom
was like,
do it too?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's why I was going to say.
When
When you
Dylan
said
and
the-
I were there, and
the
we were
women-
like wicked young.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So, talk about my parents, and I say wicked immediately.
I was going to say, boy, you're not from Massachusetts at all. So.
And I just got back last night from Massachusetts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, let's go back to the movie.
Show your tits. Yes.
You know, Krug, pretty much, I kind of love that Krug somehow manages to run into every single trap.
He does.
Yes.
He really does.
It's almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like
It was.
Like
I was like, this is the
Roadrunner.
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just
Roadrunner.
like, you know, or like The Simpsons where he steps on the rake going back and forth
Yes.
50 times.
Have you ever been hit in the head with a rake? I have. It
No, I
sucks.
have not.
I've literally done that.
Yeah. So he punches Krug.
Yeah, why
and,
would you be around a rake? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
He punches Krug.
And then Krug is like, you can do better than that. And he punches him again and he goes, you're almost as good as Sadie. And then he encourages him to get the fireplace poker. And then he starts mocking Mary's body.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the thing, the dad
took a while to kill.
The dad is not going to beat Krug in a fight.
No.
Mary was a lot tougher than you. She took a while to kill. You're just a pussy. In truth, it didn't take a while to kill. She died in one shot.
It's true.
But he's being a dick. You know, Dad's getting his ass kicked when Junior fires behind him.
And
Oh, you want to kill me?
Yeah.
I
This
want
is
you
intense.
to hold the gun out like that. That bump in the front, I want you to kind of get it lined up. Come on. Pull the trigger. And he can't. And so he's like, you always were a loser.
Yeah.
Listen to Daddy. I want you to take the gun. I want you to turn it around. And I want you to put it in your mouth and blow your brains out.
Yeah. So that's when Junior shoots his father.
Yeah, and Junior shoots himself at that point.
Oh, he shoots himself. Yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
And honestly, it's not a bad death either. It's not a bad death fall.
Yeah.
A lot of people we've commented on bad deaths in films.
Mm-hmm.
People who like,
because they're everywhere.
yeah, who have no idea how to pretend to die. And I think actually Marc Sheffler's, and we're not just saying this because we have the interview with him. I think he actually has a really good
very natural death.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did not die of natural causes, but it was a natural looking death.
So now we hear a chainsaw because it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre years before the Texas Chainsaw
No, it's
Massacre.
Charles chopping down trees because I'm going to make him. Anyway. Yes.
And so Dad's coming up the front basement with the chainsaw.
Krug did not think that through. That's what.
Yeah. Krug goes to fire with the shotgun, and he's like, "Sorry, Krug, I can only find one shell."
Sadie gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's fun.
And here's the thing: they were really cutting up the furniture here. This was a house they rented, and they were just cutting up the furniture.
Did the owners know they were going to do that?
The owners knew when they got back.
You've been waiting to say that. I know.
You know. So yeah, this was in the days before you could sue an indie film company. Could you imagine if we went and we rented out a place, we cut up their furniture with a fucking chainsaw,
We'd be in jail,
and then the movie made $3 million? The homeowners would be making $3 million fucking dollars.
That's funny.
But that's how it went in the 70s. It was a much more lawless time, even though now we have a president who's a king. But anyway, so Sadie manages to get her and the mom start fighting in the filthiest fucking pool.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I'm like, you're gonna die of sepsis.
Yeah. So my dad said in the original script, the mom just beat Sadie in a fist fight, and then him and Jeremy managed to convince them to use the knife. So that's how she loses, because they're like, fucking, there's no way the mom would beat Sadie in a real fight.
No, there's no way.
Yeah. So the look of terror on David Hess's face here is a genuine look of terror, because there's really a man coming at him with a chainsaw. A running chainsaw. And, So, and then the sheriff arrives just in time to see Dad slice the father, not my dad, slicing up Krug with the chainsaw.
As you do.
And the deputy pushes the mother into the living room. He takes the chainsaw away, and you realize their lives are just fucked.
Yep.
They've lost their kids. They just murdered someone in front of. Even if and that's the thing. You can say self-defense if you're like shooting the people who come into your house.
Mm-hmm. That's a chainsaw and a booby-trapped house.
Yeah, that's a lot harder to say.
Even in the 70s, you're going away forever with that.
That's a lot harder to say self-defense, where you're like, I let them into my house, and then I set up booby traps. And,
Amazing.
So their lives are pretty fucked. And that is the ending. And we get some happy,
Yeah, really short credits, too.
Yeah, Phyllis was Lucy Graham, Sandra Cassell, who later changed her stage name, was Mary. David Hess was Krug. Fred Lincoln was Weasel. Jeremy Rain was Sadie. And as you pointed out how much you love when girls have...
boy names.
Yes, have boy names.
Yes.
Marc Sheffler, of course, is Junior. And stay tuned, because we're going to be talking to him in a moment. Gaylord St. James is the father. Cynthia Carr is the mom. I don't believe they ever said the names of the parents. If they did, I did not get it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Marcella Nickler was the sheriff, and Martin Cove, of course, who you know from Cobra Kai and The Karate Kid, and Cagney and Lacey, if you're a middle-aged woman, as the deputy.
Yeah, and Ada Washington as the chicken lady.
Yes, the real star of the show.
Yes.
So, fuck that Fred Lincoln guy. We're here for Ada Washington.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was the original Last House on the Left.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, so here's normally where we'd go into, hey, what happened on the film? But instead of us doing that, we have Marc Sheffler, who's going to tell you some of the shit that went on. It's pretty interesting. Listen to it, and then you'll see us again at the end. All right, so check out Marc right now.
Here's Marc.
We have a very special guest.
We do.
Marc Sheffler, who played
Who's
Junior.
the special guest of which you speak?
Yes, Junior Stillo. Was it Junior Shillo, right? Was it or Stillo? Stillo. Yes. So yes, for the first, we've had guests before, but never someone who's actually in the film that we're talking about.
It's true. You're a first. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Pleasure.
I was just telling him about how, if my father was still... I thanked him for coming on, because I said if my father was still alive, he'd be like, I'm not fucking talking about Last House. So you were telling us, we asked you...
just of one of the many stories that I have about it is, we finished the film, and Sean and Wes have a cast and crew screening at a post-production house, a film waste post-production house on the west side, like in the 40s or something, like some way. So we go in there and we watch it, and your dad and Hess and I come out, look at each other, and kind of just shake our heads, and say, best thing about this is that we all met. And we're now friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
No one is going to come and see this piece of shit.
Been in one of those, that's for sure.
Your dad, he said, man, I made some shitty movies, but fuck this. Right? And Hess is like, yeah, but the music was good, right? The music was good. Oh yeah, fucking great. Okay,
that's funny.
In fact, they could just run like nothing but your music, and it'd be better than this. And lo and behold, we're definitely, the three of us, we're not like film history genies, because boy, were we fucking wrong.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the one of the DVDs, and it had talking about how it used to be a video nasty. Which for those of you unaware, video nasties were a list of films that like the UK government were just like, fuck you, we're not showing it anymore.
We were banned. We were banned in the UK. Like almost immediately. In fact, Hess and I were there in the UK doing, skiing, coming back from France. We were skiing, and then David had some music business to do in London. We were totally banned. We forget it, man.
That's okay. Charles is too.
I am actually.
He is banned from the UK.
But yeah, no, it was really funny. Like there was a thing where they interviewed all of you guys about that, and when they got to my dad, and he was like, "I wish they had banned it in America too."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
no
yeah.
one could
Oh,
see
yeah,
it.
he was a curmudgeon. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like,
I loved listening to, there was a commentary that you guys all did, the villains commentary, and I loved how it degenerated into you and David Hess arguing over where Needle Park was at one point.
right.
Um, and my father just like, guys, they're not here to hear that. They want to hear about the movie. But yeah, he was I remember I first saw this when I was 16, and then a friend of mine actually came up to me, was like, "Oh my God, I saw the most fucked up movie last week. You have to see this. Like, it's so and I was like, what's it called?" And she's like, "Last House on the Left." And I'm
I
like,
got a story for you, you
yeah,
whippersnapper.
I'm like, my dad's in that actually, and she's like, "No, he isn't." And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And for some reason, because I'm more olive skinned, whenever people don't know the Lincoln name, they always assume I'm Krug's kid. Actually, they always think I look more like David Hess, but I don't
That
think
makes
I at
sense.
all. I
No,
don't think I do
no.
at all. No, I
There are
think I.
little idiosyncrasies or like facial mannerisms that you and your father do that you can see in this movie.
Yeah.
Not any bad ones, I'm not criminalizing you, but no, it's like if you knew you and had never met your father, like me, and watched this movie, you'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. Like
Yeah. So
little nuances.
yeah. So what was the process of getting onto this? I know my dad said that originally it was going to be a hardcore film.
Yeah.
Um,
You mean, how did I get the part? Is that
Yeah, yeah, and he had said, he's like, Wes, you guys are to Wes and Sean, that you guys are never going to be able to cast this movie after he read the script.
So what happened? Yeah, I wasn't the original junior. The original junior was a guy named an actor named Herb Stryker, who's better known as Harry Reams. Okay.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But I knew him as Herb, right? So he was cast a junior as junior. From what I remember, he was cast originally, and then left to do another movie called Deep Throat. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
movie he
Yeah.
left. He left Flash out for to do Deep Throat.
yeah,
So there was the birth of cinematic history going on between these two films, but it was like ghetto, like it was like a ghetto, like birth in the
yeah,
ghetto or something, man. It was just
yeah.
these films were destined for some kind of notoriety. But so anyway, so they needed a junior. They needed the cast the part quickly. So I had a manager at the time named Dick Towers, although you may know him as Gaylord St. James.
Oh my goodness.
The doctor, yeah,
Yeah.
the dad, yeah.
So Dick, if you remember that character, I just adored him to for everything he did for me and for being just the sweetest guy, right? But he was very New York Broadway theatrical, right?
I can tell.
Yeah. So I walk into his office one day and he says, "Don't get comfortable." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I have a movie audition for you. It's close to here, but maybe take a bus so you're not late." So I said, "Okay." So he said, go to this building, go into this suite of offices. You'll ask for two gentlemen, one named Sean and one named Wes. Tell them I sent you. I said, "What's the part?" "I don't know. Just you're right for it." So anyway, I go down there. I meet Wes, who's this skinny guy with stringy blonde hair, and Sean, short, chubby guy with a mustache, always telling his assistant, "Tell him I'll call him back." So I read the part, and they say, "Great." I went back to Dick's office, and by the time I got back to Dick's office, which is in Rockefeller Center, right near the skating rink. He said, "Well, apparently you've done a good job at this audition." I said, "Why?" He said, "You got the part." I said, "Great." He said, "And I've got a part in there for myself too."
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but Dick Towers, he was just the coolest guy. I liked him. I loved him actually. I'm still good friends with his daughter Jolene, who's a lovely person. And Dick was just the character of characters, just a real New York kind of old Broadway guy. So just, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure to have met that fella.
So, by the way, Chelsea also asked me where she was just like, "How did he do the frog noise?"
Oh yeah, no. How did he do the ribbit? And then I heard your voice like over Zoom, and I was like, "It makes sense." It's yeah. Can you still do it?
Yes, of course. Ribbit. Not as loud, I'm going to be saying my next birthday. But no,
that's the most amazing ribbit I've heard in my entire life.
Well, on behalf of amphibians everywhere, I thank you.
You speak for amphibians. I love that. I'm going to run with that.
Next, go ahead.
So tell us, so basically, so tell us, I guess, about the process of shooting, because was it over a week? Yeah.
Mostly
in Connecticut, or okay,
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay.
No, it was like a real. It was in many ways very, very like I don't want to say amateurish, because it wasn't that. It was grossly underfunded professional. Okay,
we know what that's like.
Yeah.
All right, so you get that. But I will tell you this as a little sub note here. I learned the fundamentals of everything I know now, 50 some years later, having produced and directed big stuff with, big crews and everything. The fundamentals of what I know now, I learned in the 4 weeks in Connecticut. Just watching everything, how it was done. Right.
Well, it's what I've said, that the best film school is being on a set. It doesn't matter big set, small set. Even if it's a bad set, you learn. You learn from.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But this was not a bad set. This was.
Oh no.
This was a very for people who had never worked together, and
the content, the subject matter,
and everything. Well, here's what. Let me address that. Let me backtrack.
Please.
Okay, so after we were all cast,
mm-hmm.
the principals were cast. We looked at that script that they had and said, "We're not doing this shit." So we went to Wes and Sean, and we said, "Look, we can do better. This has got to be like a better way to do this, right?" And to Wes's credit, he took everything we said to heart, went away for a short time, and came back with the first draft of what became what you see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a fucking amazing experience. The more I think about it, and now looking back all these years, my opinion of the film has changed from that moment I told you no one's ever coming to see this piece of shit.
Yeah.
To learning a couple of years ago that it was one of 6 films in the entire history of filmdom chosen to be on an exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art,
mm-hmm.
right?
We were there, yeah.
We went. Okay, we went to go see it there. We saw
6 films that have a visceral effect on the human body, I believe, was the theme of the exhibit.
Uh-huh.
So if you think about the many, many thousands of films that have been made around the world, to be one of 6 chosen to be at the Museum of Modern Art is pretty fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like, that's pretty cool.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah. And I felt like a shade of cool because I had a small part, and I'm a small part of that bigger puzzle. But
okay.
Junior's a big.
Junior's a big part.
Yeah, but it's still, I'm still
18.
I mean, okay, it's not Ada Washington, you know.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
but the film had the film has, as I've seen, as history proves, had a sociological largesse, of much grander proportion than any of us. I only a few years ago, after not having seen, I go through times where I see it a couple of times in short periods, and then I don't see it for years. I was watching it about, I don't know, 7-8 years ago or something in that area. And I suddenly realized what it was about, or at least what it was about to me. I don't, and from that day, I've never talked about it as a horror film or anything like that. To me, what Wes did, and now it makes sense knowing sort of what his intent was. To me, it was just a bloody skirmish in the ongoing class warfare struggle in this country. It's that's what it's about. And there was the dinner scene, watching that dinner scene again and again and again, and then suddenly I watched it and I go, wow, that's what this is. And in reality, it's just like reality, because the rich people, although they suffered losses, they prevailed. So,
Well, holy shit.
Oh, you never thought of it like that, right?
I mean, no, because it's quintessentially one of the, foremost, I guess, most instrumental films of my upbringing in the horror genre. So I didn't even, but now,
The mechanism by which this takes place is horrible, right?
Yes.
But it's not a horror film in the context of that is the story, that's the substance of the underpinning of the story. The underpinning of the story of this was a crime committed in the furtherance of this class warfare that's going on. I think, that's what makes sense to me. And,
Yeah, no, I mean, even Krug even brings it up when he's, people in China are eating with sticks while they have 16 utensils for every pea on the plate.
Every pea on the plate.
And you know what it is? Yeah. You guys ever watch the Three Stooges?
Yes.
Okay, so a little bit of backstory. When I was 10 years old, my dad hired the Three Stooges to perform at my birthday party. So
that's amazing. Okay,
I know, it's pretty cool. I have that picture. You guys can see. I don't know if you can see this.
I mean, very vaguely, yes.
Yeah, that's. I'll pick it up and show it to you.
Please, please, I long to see.
Okay, so that's me when I was 10.
Oh wow!
That's awesome. Man. Shut the front door.
So anyway, in a lot of the Three Stooges episodes, you can really see how they were written is like sub-civilized, right? They lived this weird existence that was kind of like below bums. You know? And the bad guys in Last House are the criminal version of that.
Wow, what a paradox. I love it. Yes.
They're the criminal version of people who live whose lives are so fucking shitty and will never ever get any better. So they live on the fringes of what we call civilized society. And when they get too close, bad shit happens.
Yeah.
Totally.
So basically I've heard my whole life that there were a whole bunch of things that you guys came up with that weren't exactly in the script. That came from all of you bonding, you and my dad and David Hess and Jeremy.
Let me just tell you, your dad knew more about filmmaking than anybody on the set, except maybe the cinematographer, right? And he definitely knew more about this kind of filmmaking than anybody.
Yeah.
So Freddie did a lot of the staging and the blocking. because Wes had ideas and he had a vision, but having never done this, he didn't really know how to get to that vision. And your dad, and that was one of your dad's pet peeves about, and he was right, was the fact that he made more than just an actor's contribution to the film.
Yeah.
Right.
So he contributed in really a whole bunch of different ways. And Sean didn't put his name on the poster.
No. In fact,
we know.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing up the fuck you Freddy part that I call with Ada Washington, the chicken lady showing up.
And that to me, I don't know why that happened. Because your dad was not someone who pissed people off. He was, he was more fun than anything else.
Misinterpreted, maybe? Was he misinterpreted?
I don't know. Because he was so good. He was definitely he knew what he was doing. So I don't know, but that was a wrong that Freddie lived with forever.
Yeah.
He talked about that to me all the time.
Yeah.
He talked about that to me almost like nonstop cross country when we were heading to do a convention in New York. So,
yeah, because he told me about stuff like, say, he said in the original script, the mother beats Sadie in a fist fight or something like that, and
Freddie came up with that whole blowjobs gag. That was all.
Yeah.
He came up with that. He came up with the hammer and chisel.
No way.
That was Freddie. Okay. He made a lot of. I was just it was like 19 gonna be 20. Couldn't fucking believe I was in a movie, high all the time, having fun, right?
Yeah.
So, Freddie knew what he was doing. I mean, he had a knowledge, like a real knowledge.
Yeah.
And so he just graciously helped out wherever he could, and
That's great.
gave away a lot of his effort for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it true that while most of you guys had a great time, that Sandra really did not? Or
I hear about that. I think she had a rough time with the subject matter. You gotta realize it's not today. It's 1970.
Yeah.
Or 71, and she's laying in a field in Connecticut with her top off and fake blood all over, and David Hess drooling. It's got to.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would handle that.
Yeah.
And Hess and I were good friends, so who knows? I mean, I never had any real issues with her.
Yeah.
I just was thrilled to have the job, because it was fun. It was just fucking fun.
Yeah.
4 weeks in Connecticut, making a movie. Who cares where it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dream. You're living the dream, literally.
I mean, really, I was for 4 weeks of my life, I was not an unemployed actor.
Yeah.
That's pretty much an actor's life when we're on film. We get to shoot and then we're unemployed until the next day.
It's true. It's true.
Listen, that's why I became a writer. It's one of the reasons I became a writer. I had, and the because what happened was when Last House came out, we were like the top 10 film in the United States for 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And I was one of the 4 billed stars of a top 10 film for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, man.
And all the things that go to young male stars of movies like that happened to me in 2 or 3 weeks. It was just explosive. I couldn't stay awake long enough to say No, I couldn't. Oh, he's in that film. Oh, he's in a. Oh, yes, of course. Last House. Oh, it's a horrible, wonderful film. And I had to go back and and do in that period of time and do an opening at a theater where I grew up in Pittsburgh. And there were girls from my fucking high school graduating class. A scant 3 years earlier wouldn't give me the time of day. And now that my name is on a fucking marquee in downtown, right? And I'm all over the press, they're willing to give me a whole lot more than just the time of day. And when, no, it was fucking awesome. Great. And I kept I was impressionable at 21, and I kept thinking to myself, oh man, I'm only 21. If I made a right career choice, you know. And
yeah.
But then it all disappeared, you see. Then the life cycle of the film was extremely short at that level.
Yeah.
And so 3 weeks later, nobody, you know, it was gone and replaced by, you know, other things. So the perks dried up, so to speak, and I was just back to being an unemployed actor again, right? So I didn't like that, having tasted the fruits of being an employed actor.
Yeah.
So I said, man, I got to come up with something else. I need something else. So one night I was at a party, and I saw a guy look, you know, kind of average looking guy, no better or worse looking than I am, but kind of intense, talking to a stunningly beautiful girl, you know, just absolutely fucking gorgeous. And whatever he was saying, she was wrapped up in it, man. She was completely and utterly wrapped up in it. So I said, I got to find out what he's saying to her. So I got close. Luckily, they were near the snack area, so I could just So he was saying, yes, and I'll be sending the script to my agent, the draft to my agent out in Los Angeles on the coast. I don't know. I'm having trouble with the second act. I'm not making the second act, third act transition. It's not, but studio needs to see it, and I got to get it to him. And man, this girl is like, fuck, like he was just like aerosolized heroin, you know. So I said, I could do that. I could tell girls I'm a writer. So I went out and bought a whole bunch of books on screenwriting and television writing. And I just read the books and got familiar with all the buzzwords and all the terms and everything. So I started this little rap about writing a script and having an agent in California, and like I just took everything that this guy said. And who knows if he was even fucking telling it.
Right.
Yeah. So it started to really work. So I was in the office of a commercial director who had become a friend of mine and was quite well known. You guys remember the Mean Joe Green Coca-Cola commercial?
No.
Very famous Coca-Cola football commercial. Anyway,
I remember it a little.
Okay, so the guy who shot that commercial and won a Clio for it was the Lee Lacey, who owned this company where I was in an audition, right?
Okay.
So I'm in the lobby talking to a girl, an actress. I'm doing my thing, you know. Acting is really just something I do to pass the time because I'm really writing, you know, kind of thing. And she's buying it. She's like hooked. I'm seconds away from a fucking phone number. I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and it's Lee Lacey, the director.
Oh, no.
Lee Lacey, the director, the guy who owned the company, who I was there to audition for. So I said, hey, and who was a friend of mine. So he said, hey, listen, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I've been here for a few seconds. I heard what you were saying. I have an agent at William Morris in Los Angeles. I would love to see that script when you're finished.
Oh my God.
So I get the girl's phone number because she's now impressed that I'm talking to the owner of this company. And I say, Lee, I got to tell you something. So I take him aside and he says, what? He said, there is no script. There's only me trying to get laid. That's all this is. That's all this is. He said, "You mean you're not writing anything?" I said, "No." And he said, "Well, how's this thing working out with women?" He said, "Oh, great." He said, "So in other words, you talk, they take their pants off, and then that's it." I said, "Yeah, basically." And he said, "You're a fucking idiot, man." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "If you can get women to take their pants off from based on just words coming out of your mouth, then you are wasting a gift. Really
Holy
right."
shit.
He said, "Really right." And I said, "Huh, I never looked at it that way." I'm 21, 22 years old. I never looked at it that way. So I ended up writing the script that I was bullshitting about all this time. And took me like a year and a half or 2 years to complete it. But he sent it to his agent in Los Angeles at William Morris, and they sold it to NBC. And
Jesus Christ!
I got a phone call, and I got a phone call from him saying, "Hey, how'd you like to move to California?" So he told me what happened, and I said, "Yeah, great." So in February of 1976, I moved to Los Angeles, and the day I landed in Los Angeles, I had sold the first script I ever wrote. I had William Morris as an agent. I had a car. I had an apartment. And I had an office at 8446 Melrose Place.
Stop it!
That's amazing.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, does it still work like that sometimes?
It does. It does if you have, like I'm writing a book about myself, right? Only I'm writing it with an alter ego, so that it doesn't just sound like
we love that.
I did this, and then I did that, and then I did this. I fucking hate that. So the title of the book is "Dumb Effing Luck," and
Nice.
that's what it is. I mean, it's just about I've just had one of those lives, like. I make a shitty little movie when I'm 21 years old. I'm going to be 75 and people are still fucking talking about it.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time. Yeah.
I'm doing a personal appearance in October at a theater in Orange County. The guy's having a Wes Craven thing, 2 films, Us and The Hills Have Eyes. I'm getting a nice appearance fee. I can sell my merchandise,
That's
killing it.
You can't knock it. Like,
the truth is, that you never really know.
No.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't.
And it's really good that you were able to like grab that opportunity, or when it turned out to be an opportunity, by the fucking balls and make the most of it, and still are.
It's a trip. I look back, especially since I've been writing the book. I look back, and I've just been lucky as fuck. I've just I've been in this raging creek, because that's what it is. Life is like a raging creek, right? And born on one side, and the journey is to get to the other side, and intact. Most people, a lot of people, get swept up and never make it to the other side. So the way you make it to the other side is that every time there's like this, like something's got to happen, a stepping stone appears, right? And it happens, and it gets you there. Like, who the fuck am I to have sold the first script I ever wrote? I didn't know shit, but I did. It's a matter of fact. It's not conjecture. It absolutely fucking happened. So
I think that's really good advice. Something to hold faith to, I guess.
Well, yeah. You just, when I was, I had a really cool dad, and when I was 14. We used to go to a lot of movies together, and the owner, the manager of the Stanley Warner theater chain for all Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia was a first cousin of my father's. So we used to go to all of their theaters. Like, we just walk in because everybody knew that we were family, right?
Yeah.
So Jerry Lewis and the Nutty Professor comes out when I was about 14, and we're watching it at the Stanley Theater downtown Pittsburgh, where my cousin Larry's office was. Movie's over, big applause. I'm watching the credits, and I said offhandedly to my dad, I said, man, what must that be like to have a job like that in the movies? That must be so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said to me, well, maybe you'll find out one day. So I said to him, oh, come on, really? What do you mean me? How am I going to find out? And my dad just looked at me and said, like one of the few times I've ever seen him be serious. He looked at me and said, hey, that shit happens to somebody every fucking day. Why not you?
Why not you? I love that.
You know, and I said, yeah, why not you? So in a stroke of, you know, weird fucking luck irony, when Last House on the Left opened in Pittsburgh, it opened at the Stanley Theater.
Where that's amazing.
Yeah. Right. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
It opened. That's where it opened. Where my dad and I had that moment. So
yes, see, I remember and that's the thing, like the fact that one of my friends, when I was like 16, literally almost 20 years after you guys made the movie, kids are still telling their friends. And even now, people are still doing that. But yeah. I remember what was really funny is once my friend knew that, my dad took us to see Metallica. And she went with her friend. I don't remember what her friend's name was. But the whole time they're like whispering to each other. and they're all just like, I don't know. It feels weird being in a car with Weasel. It feels like he's going to drive us off in the woods and kill us or something.
I feel the same way.
and it was the thing that I was saying that I kind of love because, like, you know, it's unique with my dad or, you know, with you, the rest of you, because it's such a, you know, it's the type of thing that can realistically happen. It's not like, you know, it's not like, say, Robert Englund's kids are afraid, oh no, you know, he's going to come and kill me in my dreams, you know.
You just hit on the linchpin of why this film keeps going and going and going. Because it is fundamentally a cautionary tale. And I've been at conventions year after year after year after year after year with young people like 13, 14, 15 coming up to me and saying, my dad, our parents made us watch this movie because they wanted us to know what could happen if we made a wrong decision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, it's such a double-edged sword.
I've heard that. I can't more times than I could count.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, like I remember well, you were telling me Chelsea was saying that her mom is a big fan of this film.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, this is one of my first horror films I've ever seen. But not horror. It's not horror.
Can call it, that's just my opinion. You can call it what you want.
No. Well, I feel like it broadened my mind. That's why I'm saying that. I can't wait for my mom to listen to this because she'll be like, yes. And she'll completely get it. So thanks for that insight. But no, it was one of those. It wasn't, yes, the cautionary tale bit, but it was more so of a, you know, she was such a huge horror fan, and I was not, that she made me watch the things that she actually enjoyed, and she's the harshest critic I've ever met. So, and she liked this, and she still does. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some people, you know, I mean, I
apparently a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. They really, you know, it had an impact on. I mean, I've heard stories that are really, you know, just make me sit up and listen and realize how fucking lucky I am.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Well, I remember hearing about both from my dad, and I would read it in a couple things about how David didn't like how afraid people got of him after the film.
Yeah. It was, but Hess didn't mind the whole menacing thing. He wasn't really. It was a part of him. He was an odd combination of an extraordinarily gifted and sensitive songwriter musician. Okay. And, you know, a rugby player who survives on one half of his brain.
Damn. Savagery. Yes.
Okay. No, but that's how he was.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there was definitely like a raw, like primal, like just this rage about him, like
Yes.
the character. Yeah.
But that raw primal rage is Hess, the Jewish version,
Mm-hmm.
had issues with his parents, I think.
Yeah.
Crew, the non-Jewish version, just killed people willy-nilly, right? but no, David. Look, we were best friends. Okay,
Yeah.
we were as close as brothers, and so I don't say anything to him about him that I have never ever said to his face.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So Hess and I used to play golf a lot together,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a very short temper, and it wouldn't take much of bad playing, a couple of bad swings, and he's off the cliff, right?
Mm.
So there came a time where I said, "Look, I can't play golf with you anymore. I do it to relax, and you just are the opposite. You are the mathematical opposite of relaxation. Okay, you are. You don't belong here. You are a bull in the china shop of life. You can't be here with me anymore. I love you, but I can't be here with you." So he got really, really upset. Not mad at me, but he knew what I was talking about. So like 6 months later, I get a call from him, and he said, "Listen, you were right about everything you said to me that day at the golf course." I said, "Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, I know Hess." I said, "Okay," and he said, "So the last few months, I've been doing a lot of meditation and yoga, and I've gotten control of that, and I've been actually back at the driving range, and I'm hitting the ball well. I'm driving down to LA. Why don't we just play golf together?" So I thought to myself, well, he's full of shit, and I know he's full of shit. And I'm actually going to play golf with him, so when he explodes, I'm going to tell him how full of shit he is.
Yes, of course, you have to.
Right. So he comes down, and we get a tee time at the Bell in Burbank, a golf course up in the Burbank Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they put us on we're a twosome, and they put us another twosome, some like 65-year-old ladies, okay, who, are whispering to each other just because that's how they talk, right? So Hess says, "I'll hit first." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Why?" I said, "I'm just saying I could hit first, and that breaks the ice, and then we're off and running." "No, I'll hit first." So the first hole at the Bell is a dogleg right, uphill dogleg right, with a huge barranca, which is like a ditch that runs about the middle of the fairway around the right side of the green. So it's called a barranca. It's an obstacle, right? He gets up on the tee and first of all grips the club way too hard, and he starts doing this fucking fire breathing shit where he's these two old ladies are sitting in their fucking cart, and their heads go like that. And I say to myself, "Oh, this is a fucking disaster. This is going to be just, well, at least I don't have to play a whole round with him, because this is what's going to happen." And he takes the club back, fucking swings through it, comes inside on the ball, opens the club face, ball starts spinning left to right, heads right for the barranca. Hess goes, "That's my mulligan. I didn't go to the range. I didn't get a chance to. My muscles were a little tight from the drive." He gets up there, he starts doing that shit again. And he does this 3 or 4 times. And I say to him, David, enough is enough. He turns to me and in that fucking booming voice screams, shut the fuck up. And these 2 old ladies take their gloves off, put their clubs back in their bag, get their cart, turn around and drive back to the store. Oh, no, he was just, I have so many stories about him. We were in, can I tell another Hess story?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we roomed together after Last House. We lived together up on the west side. So, I have Eastern European genes in my body. So I have like a hairy chest, right? Very hairy chest. So, Hess would just refer to me as the monkey all the time. He would call me the monkey this, the monkey that, and I didn't give a fuck. I really didn't.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do, right? Argue with that bullshit? But I was a believer in karma, even at that young age. So Hess and I take off to France. We tell Hallmark we're going to write another script for them. We give them an idea. They give us $10,000, and we head off to France to write it in the mountains of French Alps and Val d'Isère and ski at the same time. So
Cool.
Not bad, huh? So,
Not bad.
So we're there, and the second or third night, David had met these German alcoholic Nazi fucks who, you know, we ski in the daytime and then we drink at night kind of guys.
Yes, good.
Wir Einstoßen-Thousand, and David could do it Einstoßen-Thousand with them, so, you know. And I would meet him there and have a beer or something, and then go back to the condo that we had rented. So I come in there one evening, and there's this pretty girl sitting next to David, like 20-ish years old, right? And I find out she's American. And so David is like having his beer, and he's putting his arm around the girl and, you know, just doing his thing. And I'm just sitting there going, when can I get the fuck out of here? So the girl says to Hess, David, I've been traveling all day and I really feel kind of, you know, I want to take a shower. Do you have a place I could do that? Hess's macho mind, he does this. He says, yeah, I do. We have a condo. I'll get the monkey to take you. And he looks at me and he goes, monkey, take her back to the condo. She wants to take a shower. Loudly. So,
oh my God.
Yes, the monkey will take you, right? Like that. So we get back to the condo, and I turn the TV on in the living room. I give the girl a towel. I said, bathroom's in there. Soap and shampoo and everything also in there. And I'm just going to be out here watching TV. So here comes karma.
Here comes karma.
So I hear the shower water go on, and 5-10 minutes pass, and she comes out wrapped in a towel.
Okay.
And I said, can I do something? You need something? She said, yes. You know, I was driving. I remember I told her I was driving all day. I have this pain in my back, and I was wondering if you could, like, maybe rub it a little bit, rub it out. And I thought to myself, I may be 21, but she's not looking for a massage. What the fuck? So she drops the towel. I rub her back. She decides I have a pain somewhere, so she starts rubbing someplace. and not long after that, we're doing it, right? We're rocking and rolling. 10 minutes after we're doing that, fucking front door of the apartment opens up.
No.
And it's Hess.
No.
Drunk as a fucking fucking alcoholic slug, just fucking hammered. So he throws the lights on, and there we are in flagrante delicto on the couch. And he looks, and it had a sobering effect.
Makes sense. Yes.
He has looked. He goes, "Well, what the fuck is going on here?" And I sat up on the couch, put my hands in the hair on my chest, and said, "Well, looks like the monkey is having his banana peeled."
Damn, the witticism. Yes.
Oh, Mark, that's awesome.
And to Hess's magnanimity, he just laughed and shrugged his shoulders and said, "What the fuck?" and he
Yeah.
laughed.
Oh man,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite David Hess stories.
Yeah. So Mark, we're gonna wrap up pretty soon, but before we do, number one, I want to thank you so much for being part of this. Yeah, my dad always used to say really nice things about you. You know,
that means something.
And,
from what I've heard,
because I would hear,
Freddie and I got along really well.
I would hear how much he hated Sean Cunningham all the time. So
Freddie and I got along really well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But
and I get to meet you, which is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. And as I said, like I'm so thankful that you decided to, just talk with us and
let me know.
Share these stories. Before we finish up, so as I said, you were on the set of Last House for 4 weeks. You guys all bonded. There was all sorts of crazy stuff going on. If there's one memory before we go that really sticks out that you would like to share with our audience.
You can think on it.
Let me see. I don't know.
When you think of it, what's like the first memory that pops up from that time, whether it's from during the shoot,
Sean, I got my first paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my first paycheck for being one of the co-stars of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had went down to the city into a Chase Manhattan Bank to cash the paycheck. And the teller looked at me and said, "How would you like this, sir? Heads or tails?"
What?
In other words, I didn't make a lot of money. So
That's amazing.
No, that's a joke. I'm sorry. That's a joke.
Well, did you come up with that? Because I want to steal it. If not,
I actually wrote it. When you do it for a living, you don't come up with things. You write them.
Yeah.
Dang nabbit.
We have a friend who actually is always posting his like $1.08 royalty checks.
I have some for 25 cents. I have some here that I've never cashed. I've screwed their fucking
I don't. I hardly ever cash my checks like that. I'm like, nope, souvenir.
Wait, let me see. Here you go. I'm not kidding you. Writers Guild. This is 25 cents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Why haven't you framed that is the question.
Oh, I got a bunch of them for like, 25. I think that's the lowest.
Oh, man. But yeah,
you should frame it.
So as I said, if there's a memory from Last House,
a real memory would be the beginning of the screening that I told you at the top of the show, where we walked out and said, "Great that we met. No one's ever going to watch it." Yeah. The first time I saw myself on the screen, on a real screen, like a movie screen, because I had seen it on the Steenbeck and I'd seen it on playbacks, but when the first time I saw myself big on a screen, I thought, very fucking cool. I just said, very cool. This is like pretty cool. Because for me, it represented dreams coming true. So when a dream comes true, you gotta pay homage to that and respect the fact that it did happen.
It did happen. I mean, it definitely holds its place in cinematic history for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And,
that would be. I think that's the moment that
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. No,
that's that's a perfect way to end this. So thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, like that was really, it was funny, it was informative, and like it was fun to talk to you.
All right, man.
Thank you for your time. Is there anything cool you got? Like, what's going on in your life that you
want
the audience to know about?
Plug right now?
I'm. Let me see. I'm some very positive steps down the line. I've created a bilingual Spanish-English situation comedy that I'm going to shoot in Colombia. Because my wife is Colombian, and we go there. We've been going there for 3 months a year to visit her family, and I've grown tired of just being the guy who picks the restaurant every day. So
fair enough.
I had to find something to do, so I created a show and wrote a first episode, and I have a partner and a company, and so we're moving along, and castings about to start happening for an American lead. So who knows? Maybe I'll get a chance to have my own show.
Well, now we know where you got the $20 bag of good stuff from Colombia.
You got time? I have one more story.
Sure. Please.
So I just said my wife is Colombian, right?
Yeah.
So we started dating like 20 years ago, and she had never seen Last House. She had no idea.
Oh, right? Wow.
She didn't know anything about it. So the first night we went out was a New Year's Eve, and I was taking her back to her apartment, and I kissed her, and she said to me, "Was that good?" And I said, "It's Colombian." And
oh my God!
I couldn't pass it up, right? The universe was throwing me a fucking softball. I couldn't pass it up. And she said, "I don't know what this means. I don't know what." Then, like, I don't know, a year later, 6 months later, she sees the movie, and she sees that scene where the girls say, "This pot, is it any good?" And I say, "It's Colombian." And then she said, "Hey, was that the?" So, yeah,
well, that's fucking awesome.
That was a thank you so much, Mark. So yeah,
thank you, Mark.
As I said, we will, we'll be talking about the movie, and Mark just really helped us with being just
this
fountain of information, man. So thank you so much.
Well, I was there. So,
thank you. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
There. No, you're fundamental to our lives. You have no idea.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everyone. That was Marc Sheffler. We want to thank him for being on here and talking with us.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think we have very much to add up on top of what Mark said. So Chelsea, where can people find you?
You can find me with a chainsaw. I actually have a chainsaw.
Yes,
well,
I know.
Of course you know that. But yes. You can find me at Chelsea.LeSage on Instagram. Where can they find you?
On charles.d.lincoln on Instagram, and I guess on Threads as well, where you get to see me rant about politics.
He does rant. It comes up as a notification on my phone every fucking day.
And I get to tell people how much their opinions of Star Wars are stupid. So I guess if you really want to see that, you could go on there. I'll bite you.
Okay. At least then I can feel something. Yeah, I felt that. Thank you.
All right, so.
And then you can find us
together
at CL Squared Productions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you can support my forays into independent cinema by going to patreon.com /Charles D. Lincoln.
Yes. And I'm on Cameo, /Chelsea LeSage on cameo.com. Or you can look it up in the app. Yes, yes. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you again to Mark, and we will catch you.
Yeah, next week with the remake.
With the remake.
Starring Jesse Pinkman.
Yes.
Yes, as my dad.
It's true.
Yes. So, alrighty.
Jesse Pinkman is Fred Lincoln.
Yes, there you go. Alrighty. What the fuck is the actor's name?
Aaron Paul.
Not Aaron Paul, Jesse Pinkman.
Yes. No, I know.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
it's brilliant.
Exactly. Alrighty, everybody.
Thank you
Thank you so
guys.
much, and thank you so much to Marc Sheffler. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.